Oh yeah, I'm understand. So so I'm on the Stairmaster right across from me, all the TV sets and Planet Fitness, right? And I guess, not I guess, today is the day that they're gonna, he's gonna get his sentence from the judge. Um, who knows, so I'm gonna Stairmaster. Oh my lord. I'm exhausted. I was here last night, dude. I was here last night. I don't like doing the Stairmaster at night. But that's the only time I could come. And I had to help teach him with his pre-calculus. I didn't get it until like 10:45. I was getting like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm so tired. But I told myself, I gotta try to go daily. I gotta go myself. I gotta try to go daily. I would like to come here daily. Definitely, I'm so tired. But anyways, yeah, I've been keeping up with his stuff a little bit. And like he's writing letters, begging the judge to like have mercy on him. I'm so confused. I'm like, this is so weak to me. This is really weak. Like, he really must have a small eggplant. Because ain't no way. Ain't no freaking way. I don't see how this is just me. Unless the money's not really there. But I mean, how he paid the girl. But I'm like, I don't see how I could be worth like 300, 400 million, 500 million, and I'm gonna beg a judge that makes 100,000 to have mercy on me. Do what you must do. I'll take it to your appellate court. Do what you must do. I'm not doing this to myself. They say you guys like, huh. This is why part of me, even though he gets on my nerve now, but this is why part of me, I like Donald Trump. Because Trump, he wouldn't apologize worth a day. He will not apologize worth a damn. He's not begging for shit. He's not saying, oh my gosh, please take it easy on me. Nah, bitch. Nah. You want to take away my freedom? We're going to fight. You want to lock me up in a cage? We're going to fight. Hey, BD, what's up? I can't be worth 300 million and I'm going to beg somebody who had to beg for votes. Like when you become a judge, I'm pretty sure this judge, he was elected, right? So he had to ask New Yorkers to vote for him, right? Probably still owes money on his student loans. I'm not begging you for shit. I am not begging you for shit. You play with my life, I'm gonna play with your life also. You got me messed up. I'm like, did you? I really believe you must have a small eggplant. Because in a way, oh, I've been in here for 2 years. These have been the hardest years of my life. Sir, shut up. You in the jailhouse with other black people. Okay? Why aren't you comfortable there? Why don't you make friends there? You have a lot of money. You should have money in everybody's books. Okay? You should know how to go to a prison full of black people and be safe and be comfortable and get what you want. That's the whole point of having money. Why aren't you using your money? Why aren't you using your money? This is crazy, guys. I'm so triggered. I don't, I'm so triggered. I'm like, you think a wealthy white man about to come over here and start begging the judge, like, oh, the judge, please have mercy on my soul. These have been so hard for me. I really had lost my way. Wumpy wump wump. I'm like, Diddy, you sound fucking crazy. You sound fucking crazy. And these goofy ass lawyers he has, these goofy ass lawyers, I'm not gonna say they're racist, but I do believe that his lawyers are bigots. I think they're bigots. I think deep down inside also they hold stereotypes against black people because ain't no way. The hardest, the most dangerous charge on there was the RICO. You were not found guilty of a RICO. You were not found guilty of a RICO. They found you guilty on paying for prostitutes. Why are you begging? You're like the only man in America, pretty much, that has been found guilty or once they want to sentence you for paying for sex. That sounds stupid. But you begging. Oh, does he even know? Like, do you even know what you were charged with? What you were found guilty of? Hold on, yo, hold on. I need to move. If I have my favorite, hold on. Give me something. I have my favorite Stand Master. I don't like this time. The girl left. So let me make myself comfortable. I'm like, the one you had to really like, if you had to cry and beg for your life, that's the RICO charge. You were found innocent of a RICO. Even the jury didn't believe that girl. They didn't believe her. Right? They didn't believe her. You got charged. You got convicted. You got found guilty because they had to find you guilty of something because they needed distraction from Jeffrey Epstein. You got found guilty of paying for sex. The hell? Okay. Paying for sex from adults that actually sell sex. Make it make sense. And now here you are crying and begging the judge like you actually like you were found guilty of a RICO. But how weak is that? How weak is that? But you know what though? I'm like, maybe this is what happens when you're not a Christian also. Because maybe when you're not a Christian, it's a lot easier to be scared. I think so. I think if you don't have Christ in you, it's a lot easier for you to be scared. Like, oh my gosh, they're gonna take my life, they're gonna take my life. And I'm like, this sounds hell stupid. Even his letter, hey Nafisa, even his letter. In the letter, instead of begging the judge to let you go, you should tell the judge how fucked up it is that you're pretty much the only man in America, and because you're black, who's getting convicted or being sentenced for paying for sex. Like, hello, hello. You should let that judge know. Make the wrong call, see what happens. Okay? Thank you, sunshine. Make the wrong call, see what happens. That's what I would tell that judge. Make the wrong call and see what happens. Because this is terrible. This is bullshit. Diddy should have gone home the day he was found not guilty of the RICO. He should have gone home. Everything that's happened to you is that these people been denying your constitutional rights. And here you are, you want to beg an Indian. You out your damn mind. Your ancestors been here since before like the Civil War, and you want to beg an Indian who just got here like 30 years ago for your freedom. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Bunch of cowards. Disgusting. We think now I'm gonna beg somebody from India. Here you out your damn mind. You're out your fucking mind. Could never be me. I swear to God. Could never be me. I will never beg an Indian. Do what the fuck you must do, bitch. You and your goofy ass gods, your fucking elephants that you worship. I'll see you outside. I'll fuck up your life. Huh? He's a fucking Indian. And Diddy's over here giving this man clout by begging him like he can do something. Listen, there's a judge above his ass. And whatever judge is above his ass, there's another judge above his ass. Exactly. He was like the worst charge you were not found guilty of. They are charging him. They found him guilty of paying for sex. Why is he writing letters where he's begging for his freedom? You should be kicking a fit. Like this is outrageous. This is unconstitutional. So are you pay for me? So you're gonna start charging all these white people who pay for sex? Okay, okay. Because like, what kind of precedent does that set? When have you ever seen a John getting charged for paying for sex? Why don't you charge the sex workers? Why don't you charge the sex workers? You use your letter to the judge to embarrass his ass. Embarrass his ass because there was a jury of his peers. He had 12 people. They went through the case. They took their notes. They even had extra jurors in case something happened, right? And the jury came out and they said he's not guilty of a RICO, but he's guilty of this. Okay, so why am I here? Why am I here? And all this money that you people have made me lose. Why am I here? Why am I here? Defaming my name. Why am I here? Why am I here? Play with me. Play with me. Play with me. Play with me. And try to give me some goofy ass sentence. I will take hey, honey, I will take this shit to the appellate court. Like you were willing to put Diddy was willing to put $50 million with the bond. $50 million with the bond. If you got 50 million, you can take this shit all the way to the fucking Supreme Court. Play with me. Play with me. See, that's why this whole FBA shit, I don't buy into this whole FBA shit. Because when push comes to shove, like this all FBA shit, it only works against African people. When a lot of African Americans get bullied by other foreigners like Latinos, Asians, Indians, right? They become so fucking submissive. They become so submissive, right? You got an Indian man who probably moved to the States like 30 years ago. You gonna beg this man, you gonna beg an immigrant for you to be free on the soil of your ancestors. Yes, God forbid. God forbid. Man, the West African in me, I could never. I could never. People who drink from the Grand River, I could never beg you for shit. That's another river. Je peux pas. Je peux pas. Je ne peux pas. Oh my gosh, you guys. Je peux pas. I can't do it. I can never, can never. I'm going to grovel and beg an Indian to have mercy on me. Hey, I mean, God is no longer on the throne. Shit. Je peux pas. Je ne peux pas. I don't even know. I don't even see how that's possible. The man makes 100,000. Diddy, even your trainers make more than this man. But because he's wearing a robe, you scared of him. Shit. Shit. You a coward. You're such a bitch. You're such a bitch. You're such a pussy ass bitch. Like, I am so fucking triggered. I am so fucking triggered. You have 300, 400 million, and I know you got 50 million. Make that money work for you. You're gonna let a goofy ass Filipina with no talent, a drug addict with a sex addiction, take your freedom for you. You're weak as fuck. You're so fucking weak. You're weak. You're really weak. That's the part that got me pissed off. Yeah, that's the part that has me pissed the fuck off. I will never in you guys. I cannot be 300. I cannot be worth 300 million, and I'm gonna beg a man that makes 100,000, who had to go around New York City begging for votes. Okay, because he's elected, he had to beg for votes. Okay, and next season he could be fired. Okay, I ain't gonna beg you. Your kids listen to me. Your wife probably wishes she came to one of my parties. You out your damn mind. You out your mind. But I feel like when you actually live a godless life, maybe that's how you get scared of people. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe when you live a godless, when you live a godless life, it's a lot easier for you to be scared. Because I'm like, English is your first language. For me, English is my second language. But I understand you did not get convicted. Exactly. You did not get convicted of the RICO. Like the RICO part, I could understand why you were scared. The the scariest charge, not guilty. Why are you begging? Why the fuck are you begging? Why are you begging? Right? Why are you begging? And this is why you guys, I'm not trying to be mean, and I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. That's why I feel like in this demonic ass plantation called America, right? Look, Americans will always be at the bottom. Because if your richest people beg, if your richest people are begging, it's a problem. You think Bill Ackman will beg? You think Bill Ackman would beg? The way that man would throw a fit over here and cuss out all these fuckers, okay? Do you think Bill Ackman would beg? Jewish billionaire that would beg. Beg for what? Beg for what? Right? When I tell you they will flip the entire state of New York City, Jewish people, I respect these people. When I tell you the thing about the Jews, right? The thing about the Jews, my main issue with these people is that they want to wipe out the Palestinians. That's out of order. That's just out of order. Small people like that don't get to decide who gets to live and who gets to die. That is out of order. But one thing I respect about these Jews, play on my name, see what happens. Play with my life, see what happens. Play with my business, see what happens. Okay? Play with me. You will understand what money's for. Huh. You will understand what money is for. Hey, Ruba. Okay? Oh, Jews don't play. They felt like TikTok was making the young people be pro Palestine. They put pressure on Joe Biden. Sell that shit. Tell the people that got to sell it. Jewish people do not play. They don't play. Like, put the whole, like, I'm like, besides the Palestinian genocide thing, I respect that shit. Because if you don't stand beside your brand, right? I mean, shut up. I'm just weird. You sound stupid. You're a beggar. I'm all over the place. Just because I don't say something that you like does not mean I'm all over the place. Go somewhere with your brainwashed self before I block you. Okay? Jews do not play about their brand. Like, sit here. Hey Kevin, I'm sitting here for the past, as long as I've been, listen to Nick Fuentes, right? When the way Nick is out here exposing Jewish people, even BB, oh, look at BB. BB is so evil. That man knows damn well he's committing a genocide. Okay, okay, what? Man is committed. He is committed to his vision. It's a dark vision, Ain't gonna lie, it is a dark vision, right? But he is committed to his vision. And I respect that. I just don't respect the genocide part. Don't respect genocide part. And to me, even the fact that Diddy did not sue CNN, he a bitch ass dude. Even the mere fact, and that's fine. The Bible says that a woman come from a man. So if I look like a man, in what? What do you look like? You look like a man also. Like what the fuck? Whoever told you you were beautiful? You look like a man. That's the best insult you have. I come from a man. So yes, thank you. And I have a daddy. So maybe I look like my dad. Thank you. The fuck? That's so damn stupid. Anyways, right? You look like a man. Yes, I do. My dad. Next. Anyways, right? So what was I saying again? But yeah, the fact that Diddy did not even sue CNN, right? I'm like, his lawyers are utter garbage. His lawyers are trash. His lawyers are utter garbage because he should have sued CNN. The mere fact that CNN released an edited video, the video was edited, it was cut, and it was sped up with the intent of making him look like a bigger brute, more of a savage. And also, he's in a hotel. He has the right to his privacy. Number two, why didn't CNN contact him to see if he wanted to say something about the video? He should have sued CNN for 100 million. Once again, this is why I respect Trump. George Stephanopoulos, whatever his name is, was out here saying that Trump was a racist. Trump sued him. He sued ABC. Trump got his money, right? When it came to PBS, what I was called, no, CBS, right? CBS 60 Minutes with the Kamala interview. It was edited, it was chopped up, and all kinds of stuff. Trump was like, no, that's not fair because you guys are editing the stuff to make her look better than what she really is. So Trump sued CBS. You see? And that's why you can say what you want. SBA movement, what do you think that is? Right? But it's like the thing about white Americans, they move like Americans. They don't move like a hyphen. White Americans, like, yeah, we own this shit. We built this shit. This is our shit, right? They ain't scared. The way Diddy's moving, he's moving like he's an immigrant. He's moving like he's a second class citizen. He's moving like he don't know he's an American. And you're not just an American. You are a wealthy ass American. And I'm like, your rights were violated. Your privacy was violated. Why did CNN, if you're such an evil person, why didn't CNN just play the video? Why do they need to edit? Why do they have to doctor the video? Why do they have to speed up the video? And then you're not sitting here, you're not suing CNN. Diddy should have sued CNN for 100 million. He should have sued CNN for 100 million because that's out of order. Because that video is not, and the thing is, they didn't even release the whole video because people did not see the part where she's putting on lip gloss. People did not see the part where she's putting a hoodie over her head and talking to him. People did not see the part where she goes back into that room, right? So who's behind this? And that's why he should have had another legal team sue CNN. Because when you go into a hotel, you have the right to privacy. And that same hotel also, he should have sued the Hilton because that tape never should have made it out. Now, when it comes to the Latino, the what's his name again? The Latino guard, right? Diddy's lawyers should have hired forensic attorneys. They should have hired forensic accountants to go through his accounts because somebody gave him money. Someone gave this goofy ass Latino some money to sit on that tape. Because where the fuck was that tape? Was it that tape? Did Cassie have the tape? Right? Did Cassie have the tape? Right? And instead of fighting like you're a real American, instead of fighting like someone whose ancestors have been here before the Civil War, you over here begging this Indian person to let you go, like you a fresh off the boat immigrant. Are you slow? Are you really slow? Are you dumb? And that's what's pissing me off. I wish I had got this thing. I would go in there and beat his ass. Are you stupid? Are you not a fucking man? Are you not a man? Are you not a man? Do you think you're guilty? So if you're not guilty, why are you begging? Why are you begging? Even if it takes 5 years, and yes, it's not easy, but guess what? There are people in there doing 20 years. There are people in there doing 30 years, right? You gotta be a man and you have to fight. Fight for the truth because you did not, you and this girl, y'all were doing BDSM. This is straight up BDSM. Like, be so for real. That's the thing. Even with Diageo, why didn't his lawyer also do some research on Diageo to know if they have not been in bed with Cassie, right? Like it is insane to me. You gonna let a girl who can't even dance, can't even sing, can't even do nothing. Cassie has no talent, but you gonna allow this girl to make you quiver. You gonna allow this goofy ass Filipina to have you scared. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish. I wish I had access to him. Okay? Thank you, babe. I wish I had access to him. I wish I had a way of talking to him in that jailhouse. I would get his mind right. You out your damn mind. Let that man do what he wants to do. We take this shit to the appellate court. And if it doesn't work there, we go to the Supreme Court. We're not gonna sleep. You got the money? You got the money? But me, money. By the time I'm done with this girl called Cassie, she gonna pack her bags and go back to Manila. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that. Her broke ass. Her broke ass. And her broke ass man that she with. Go sit down somewhere. Go sit down somewhere. And the thing that also pisses me off is like, now you want to start writing letters. Diddy, you were in court. Why didn't you take the stand? And like it grinds my gears. Why didn't you take the stand? Tory Lanez, why didn't you take the stand? Right? Even that other guy, what's his name? Harvey Weinstein. Why didn't you take the stand? Why do you people always wait after you're convicted to want to speak? Why? It's too late now. It's too late now. You were there. Diddy could have gone on that stand and properly explained to people what exactly your freak off is and why it lasts 12 hours. Because it's not 12 hours of sex. It's not 12 hours of sex. But because most people didn't get it, they thought Cassie was having sex for 12 hours. It's like, no, they were not having sex for 12 hours. They were talking and having food and smoking and having a good time for like for almost like 10 hours. And then they would have sex on about like 45 minutes to 2 hours. That's about it. Hey, that's it. You were there. Only you can give context. Only you can explain it, right? Dawn gets up there, says all kinds of foolishness. Diddy, go up there. Come out with your receipts. Tell people how much you've invested in her. Tell people why she mad, right? Why are you not talking? You just sit here all submissive and shit. Like, what's wrong with your ass? People want your life. They want to send you to the gulag and throw you in there for the rest of your natural life. They want to take all your money. Because I'm like, can you imagine? Because I'm like, if he had been convicted of RICO, he would have had to forfeit all his money. Are you insane? You gonna sit there like this and let people take your freedom? For what reason? Like seriously, for what reason? For what reason? Why would you ever do such a thing? I'm so pissed off. I am so pissed off. Like you should use your letter to the judge to throw a fit and to let them know from the very beginning, everything you guys have done was to deny me my constitutional right. You understand? Diddy should have had bail a long time ago. He should have had bail. The mere fact that this man offered to surrender, they said no because they want to make a big scene out of it. The man said, okay, I'm going to give y'all $50 million and my plane. They said no. The man gets found not guilty of the most violent charge, which is the RICO. Oh no, you got to stay in there. And instead of you using your letter to expose how fraudulent this court has been against you, to explain the lack of transparency in your case, to explain to showcase the racism, right? The racism, the misandry, how unfair this is, and how America continues to weaponize evil and nasty stereotypes against African American men to rob them of their constitutional rights. No, you want to use your letter to beg this man. Who is this man? Who is this man? Right, I am so triggered. I am so triggered. I am so triggered. Yeah, exactly. Trying to pollute trying to pollute the public to see him as an aggressor, as a man who's violent, who wants whatever he wants. You know what the heck? We saw the text messages where he told Cassie, "You got to pray. Cassie, go to rehab. Cassie, call your mom. Cassie, we don't have to do this." Right? She is the one who said, "The only way I knew how to get his attention was playing the freak off." Okay? Everything she claims, but she was having sex by herself with the sex workers. The sex workers would go to her house. She would have sex with those people. She had multiple affairs. In her 9-year relationship with Diddy, she slept with like on top of the sex workers. On top of the sex workers, she was having sex with like 5 or 6 other men. Michael B. Jordan, Kid Cudi, Alex Fine, the football player they want to name, and God knows who else. right? And she's scared. You're so scared of this man that you cheat on this man, right? This girl grabbed the plane, went to wherever she went to meet her childhood friend because he had a tape on her. And she made death threats to that boy. I will kill you. I'm going to kill you. Diddy's going to kill you, right? Now she wants to sit here and play damsel in distress. Oh, no, sir. Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. This girl is bipolar. She's really bipolar. And I think, like, one thing that also needs to be explained out here, one thing that needs to be really, really explored out here, y'all, is the fact that I think a lot of girls who are really promiscuous, yes, a lot of girls who are really promiscuous, when they want to find a husband, whatever, right? They have to rebrand. And so part of the rebranding is about, "Oh, I wasn't a hoe. I was made to be one," because they can't deal with the shame of what they've done to their bodies. So now you need to scapegoat somebody, right? Because you don't want Alex Fine to really recognize the kind of creature that you are, right? Because you can't deal with the shame of your promiscuity. So you need to blame someone. You need to destroy someone. You need to make somebody responsible for what you did. And that to me is sick as hell. And I'm like, and that right there should have also been explored. Because I'm serious. I'm like, his lawyers should have brought all kinds of sex therapists, sex psychologists, and even psychiatrists. Okay? I'm on the Stairmaster to really identify her behavior. Okay? Because it's like, this lady is bipolar. To me, I think she's bipolar. And I think all these freak off things are part of her hypomania. When she goes into hypomania, right? You become hypersexual. Become hypersexual. But that's not his fault. That's not his fault. She was like, there were moments where she was sad that she didn't bring the camera, right? Hey, she wanted to be recorded. She was sad that he didn't bring the camera. Even the jury there's a jury member who went on CNN with the black lady. And he was like, oh, they saw some of the videos. They watched some of the freak offs and they were like, well, she seemed like she was enjoying it. So even the jury themselves, when they watched the tapes that they were allowed to watch of Cassie doing the freak offs, even they said the girl did not seem to be under duress. She did not seem to be under duress. She seemed to be enjoying it. Every sex worker who went on Vlad TV said the same thing, that she was enjoying. She would give instruction. She would tell them how to pee on her. She would tell them this, she would tell them that, right? And even behind Diddy, he would have these guys come over to her place, right? And on multiple occasions, Diddy told her, don't do that. Do not have sex with these people when I'm not there. Why? For her safety. Because if you have sex workers that are coming out of prison and you have these people come to your apartment by themselves with just you alone, only God knows what can happen to you, right? Only God knows what can happen to you. But the problem is, I feel like the issue is that, which is what they did with everything they released in the media, is to make people hate you so much. They want people to hate you so much that no one's going to have compassion for you. No one is going to try to humanize you. No one is going to try to understand you, right? Cassie is not a victim. I mean, she's a victim of life. If Cassie's a victim, so is Diddy. That's it. Okay? So it's like, at what young age? She's not a child. You have girls in Africa who are 17 and they're fully married with kids. Please miss me with that bullshit. You Westerners and your bullshit. Okay? Y'all be 25 to about, oh, I'm young, I'm young. Shut up. There are people in Africa who are 14, 15 with kids, with families. Okay? Like, please. So, gotta stop. I stop this madness. It's kind of sick. Western culture, it's a culture that revolves around I'm a forever child, perennial children. No, you know right from wrong. If you go somewhere with your boyfriend, if your boyfriend says, we're gonna go meet a producer, you know not to cheat on your boyfriend with the producer. You know right from wrong. You know it's not good to betray people. My thing is, Kevin, my thing with Diddy was the Diddy case, honestly. Because remember, Comey, it doesn't matter if you're South African, you live in England, so it doesn't matter. And let's not act like South Africans, y'all did not get your brains completely fucked up by the British, because a lot of y'all is xenophobic. So let's not do that. Okay, South Africans can be some savages because you've allowed these British people to do some weird shit to your head, and now you treat other African people like shit. So doesn't matter. Y'all swear because you're African and you live in Europe that you're still African. Like, no, no. Because for you to be South African, you would know she's not a child. Because in South Africa, whether it's your mother, your grandmother, your great grandmother, at what age was she married? At what age were they married? At what age they had children? Right? Was your mother promiscuous? I'm pretty sure no. Was your grandmother promiscuous? I'm pretty sure no. Okay. If your dad was to show your mom a man, she gonna go sleep with that man? I'm pretty sure not. There you go. There you go. It's only in America. It's only in England. It's only in the West where people think, oh, I have the right not to have integrity. No, you know right from wrong. You know right from wrong, right? You went in there with Ryan Leslie, who was your boyfriend, your producer, your songwriter, right? And you decided, it doesn't matter if you finished school or not. There are a bunch of girls in Africa who didn't even go to school and they have integrity. So what's the point? You don't need to go to school to have integrity. You don't need to go to school to learn how to be loyal to people, right? If you have a boyfriend and your boyfriend says, we're going to go into a business meeting with this man to see how he can help your career. You go in there with your boyfriend, you leave with your boyfriend, right? No, not Cassie, right? Cassie sat there with Diddy and they made a fool out of Ryan Leslie. Fake posters, fake party in Miami, fake booking in Miami, posted that shit all over the place and made Ryan look like a fucking idiot. So no, she's used to setting people up. She's used to scamming people. Because who does that? If you don't want to be with Ryan, admit who you are. You're a gold digger. You're a gold digging ass girl who wants to go from a rich man to a richer man. Admit to yourself who you are. And just say to Ryan, Ryan, I don't want to be with you no more because you ain't got that kind of money. Right? Be upfront. But no, she lies, and she lies a lot. Now I get it. A lot of black girls have low self-esteem. A lot of black girls are insecure. They hate themselves. They're not proud of themselves. So when they see a Filipina, y'all want to cap for her because you wish you were exotic because you hate yourself, right? Y'all have such low self-esteem. As soon as you see anybody with white skin, you diminish yourself next to these people because you think they're better than you. Yeah, right. Her daddy probably wears drag queen outfit. What do I know? Hey, Jay. That's a bunch of foolishness. You know right from wrong, right? If Jimmy says, "Oh, Marlene, let's go meet the CEO of my company," I know not to sleep with his boss. Like what the freak, right? If James introduced me to a millionaire, I'm like, "Oh yeah, give me your number, and I can sleep with you." I'll tell my husband I'm going on the stay master. No, no, and no. You came in there with Ryan. You leave with Ryan. Now, if you feel like Diddy's a better catch because he has more money, have integrity and tell Ryan it's over. You don't have to make a fool out of Ryan. Because I can only imagine how he felt when he found out that there was nothing going down in Miami. Like, what the heck? Who does that? Like, you guys, they went as far as making posters. These fools made flyers, they made posters. Like, wow, who does that? So I'm saying she's not just manipulative, she's always been wicked like that, always on some mastermind bullshit instead of being forthcoming with what you want. You chose Alex Fine. The man is broke. You're broke. You both don't have work ethics, right? So now you want to reframe consensual BDSM as some kind of abuse because you need money, but not just any money. You want to live a life of luxury, okay? And that to me is a no. She's not gonna teach her daughter shit because she's bankrupt morally. If for you to have any hope for her to teach her daughters anything relevant, she wouldn't even have done this case because she would have taken accountability. She would have taken accountability. And that's why I said, Diddy's lawyers, all these white people, I'm not going to say that they're racist, but I would definitely say they're bigots. And I would definitely say that they too they have um, a lot of biases against black people, especially black American men. Because one thing about this trial too, Diddy should have been humanized. And Diddy should have been presented as that he's also sick. They should have showed his entire life, the scope of his life, and why he struggles with a drug addiction. His father was in the drug game. His mom also did drugs. His entire life, he has been surrounded by drugs. He is a product of his environment, right? Not saying it's okay, but it's very rich to stand on your moral high ground when you don't come from that life and say, oh, well, why are you a drug addict? Well, why are you fat? Why are you broke? Right? We are all a product of our environment. We struggle with things many times, with the things that our parents also struggle with. If you have someone and their parents live paycheck to paycheck, how much you want to bet? How much do you want to bet that they too are going to grow up to live paycheck to paycheck? right? If you see someone that has a parent or both parents that have a drug addiction, how much do you want to bet that they too are going to have a drug addiction? Look at Lil Nas X. Look at Lil Nas X. Where's his mom? In the streets doing drugs, right? That's usually how it goes because it's hard. That's like the doctor said, Dr. Tracy said like that, that neuroplasty stuff, that neuroplasty stuff. It's really hard to break it. So you cope with problems, you cope with challenges the way you saw your parents cope with that stuff, right? And if I also been his lawyer, his mom would have gone up there. I'm like, you with these diamonds and these blonde wigs, the life your son had given you, you're gonna go up there and you're gonna take accountability. You're going to take accountability and you're going to humanize your son to the world. Diddy needs help. Because, like I said, I think he's bipolar. I think most people who engage with this BDSM stuff or bipolar, they need help. They need medication. They need to be treated because it's a mental thing. It's not like it's not a thing that you can overcome with your willpower. Like it's none of that. It's really mental. But there was not even a single point with the defense where they tried to humanize Diddy. Not like, especially Sean. Who is Sean? Like, who is Sean Combs? Not Diddy. That's just that's just a persona he created to be successful in hip hop. That's just a persona he created to be successful in entertainment as a black man by relying heavily on stereotypes that are quite detrimental. So then when somebody lies on you, people use the same stereotype that made you rich to try to lock you up for life. I'm like, no, that's crazy. Yeah, that's really crazy to me. That's really, really crazy. Even when she left, because she's like, oh, she's so afraid for her life. Girl, bye. The moment you left with Alex Fine, has Diddy ever reached out to you? The answer is no. When you announced your marriage to Alex, did Diddy reach out to you? The answer is no. You have multiple children. Did he arrest you? No. Have you ever had to call the police because you felt unsafe? No. But now, because you filed a lawsuit, yeah, rightfully so, because you're scamming. Oh, I'm so unsafe. I'm so unsafe. No. If Diddy was really that obsessed with you, your marriage to Alex Pine wouldn't have been possible. It wouldn't have been possible, right? He's never bothered her. He doesn't trigger her. She's the one who reached out to him when Kim died because he wrote on Instagram that Kim was a soulmate. So she reached out to him. He does not reach out to her. Exactly. She reached out to him. You're so scared of this man, and yet he doesn't reach out to you. You reach out to him. Like this shit makes no sense. Like it absolutely makes no sense. But what you do realize is that when people don't like you, they will believe anything that's said about you because they don't like you. They do not like you. They do not like you. It's been years. How long did from the time she broke up with Diddy until she filed her lawsuit? How many times has she had to call the police to make a complaint, to file a police report about her safety, about Diddy doing anything to her? His lawyers were trash. His lawyers were trash. Diddy needs to ask for a refund. They were absolute trash. Okay? No one cares. No one cares. When you slept with Michael B. Jordan, did he beat your ass? When you slept with Kid Cudi, did he beat your ass? When you slept with Alex Fine, did he beat your ass? Right? Even in front of, even in front of the sex workers, the one who speaks really well, the one who went to prison. He talked about how she would always make fun of Diddy's penis in front of sex workers. And even then, too, was he beating her ass? The answer is no. Like, you're so afraid of this man that you sleep with your trainer in his house. Yeah, right. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not even afraid of James, but I would never sleep with a man in my house. Okay? Because, okay? All right? But you are so afraid of Diddy. Diddy is so dangerous. Diddy is so violent. But you were having sex on multiple occasions with Alex Fine in his house. Okay. Okay. If that's what you do when you're scared, I would love to see what you do when you're really scared. File a lawsuit and ask for money. Like, get out of here with that. Sorry, y'all. I'm on this. Oh, Lord. I'm on the Stairmaster thing. Mhm. 30 minutes? Okay, I think I'm going over an hour. My time is all messed up. 31, 10. Okay, we got 20 minutes to go. Okay, so y'all, I confused myself, babe. Mm, mhm, mm. Yeah, I do. I gotta do the standard system. I can't sit and do these hard because they're not working. Yeah. Oh, I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid. Go sit down somewhere. Go sit down somewhere. But you see, of course she is. You didn't see how she left the hotel room, right? Like, once again, his lawyers were trash because you would ask yourself, if a woman, like seriously, let's use our brains, not our hatred for Black American men. Let's actually use our brain. If a woman knew that she was about to be used up for 12 hours, forced into a free fall, forced to have sex for 12 hours, and you have the small window of making a getaway, you're going to take your time to grab your Louis duffel bag. You're going to waste your time to grab your Celine bag, right? The number of luxury items she grabbed to leave her hotel room is sick as hell. Like, go sit down somewhere. Who even thinks about that kind of stuff? My life or luxury bags. No, this girl picked up all her luxury bags. A Louis duffel bag, a Celine bag. No, what's a Chloe bag? No, it's a Celine bag, right? It's a Celine bag, right? Whatever kind of luxury she grabbed, right? And her shoes. Then you get by the elevator. The first thing you do is not call for the elevator. No, she puts down her bags, her luxury bags. She gets on her shoes. She puts on her shoes. Niggas are, I guess I got to call the elevator. So are you really in distress? Are you seriously in distress? Like, be so for real. You watch the video. There are two fire alarms right next to Cassie. There are two fire alarms right in front of her. The hallway where her room was at with Diddy, there's a fire alarm right there in the hall. When she calls for the elevators, you have two fire alarms right there. She never calls any of those fire alarms. There's the staircase. She doesn't use the staircase, right? She has a phone in her hand because when Diddy came up to snatch the phone. He wanted the phone. So most likely that was his phone. Most likely that was his phone, right? She had his phone, antagonizing behavior, trying to trigger him. And she's still not leaving. The girl's standing there. She goes to the black phone, the hotel phone. I'm like, you said there's a man in there, right? With Diddy. There's another man in there, and they're about to turn you into a sex slave for 12 hours. And you want to use the hotel phone? You're not trying to run. You're not running for the stairs. You're not even running out the window. You're not going to ring out the fire alarm. Are you kidding me? Are you really kidding me? Right? No, she stands there. She stands there. And she's like, Diddy comes. He looks at her because by that time, he's out of breath. But he's old. He's out of breath. She gets out her lip gloss. And she puts on her lip gloss. And she looks at him. Then she goes and calls security. I'm like, you wanted to sing because it turns you on. It turns you on. And I feel as though Marlene, I think it was a setup. I think that place right there, that elevator scene, to me, it was a stage. It was a stage. And she played the perfect victim. And I think about Cassie too. Because I'm saying something. Let me, yeah, because she's lazy. Because she's lazy. She don't want to work. She wants things to come easy for her. She wants to use her looks. She knows that a lot of Black men in America have low self-esteem. They want to be around biracials and Asians and things like that. So these Black boys are an easy lick. Okay. I just saw this morning too. Shiloh Sanders trying to be with India Love. I'm like, for what? For what? Like, even if you like the blazing look, even if you like the blazing look, you can't go find another girl that's blazing, has not been passed around. Like, seriously, right? But if you live in America, even in Europe, because you see it with the soccer players too, I ain't gonna lie, right? Even in Europe, these white boys have low self-esteem. And these girls know that these black guys are easy like because they will never get attention from a white boy. They will never get that kind of money from a white man. White men not coming next to a Filipino. Like a white man, if he gonna do something exotic and he got a bunch of money, he's gonna go for like a a German, Brazilian, okay, like a girl from Norway, some real fancy exotic shit, or Korean, right? You're not going to go to no damn Philippine, right? So they know the only man in America with money that's gonna put these girls, many of them being sex workers, on a pedestal, are black men. They're black men. So that's it. And they study that. They study that. I don't care what you say. Everybody knows how it goes out here. Everybody knows. Just like if you're on YouTube and you want to make lots of money, you want to have a channel and you want your channel to grow super fast, talk bad about black people. See what happens, right? Make videos every day where you talk bad about black people. Make videos every day where you speak poorly of African Americans. See what happens. In 6 months, you might have 1 million followers. And like, what are we talking about? In 6 months, you could easily have 1 million followers because that's the way America goes. Everybody knows it's okay. It's okay to lie on them. It's okay to accuse them of stuff. It's okay. It's okay to do all kinds of destructive behavior because it's going to stick. Because there's a narrative, there are stereotypes, there's a culture, there's a history of always criminalizing black men in America. So it's going to stick, right? You don't think J Lo was aware of those stereotypes? You don't think Cassie is aware of that? Everybody's aware of American politics. Everybody's aware of that. You don't think like you have a lot of Indians also who think they're better than black people? Like everybody's aware. You don't think you have Mexicans who think they're better than blacks? Okay, everybody's aware. Everybody's aware that if you want to grow in this country, you want to get rich, you want to make a name for yourself, always talk about Black Americans. Just say mean things about them. And you go, oh, I'm just trying to hold them accountable. Oh, I'm just trying to hold them accountable. I want to see the Black American community prosper. And guess what? You can have like 600,000 people in less than a year. Like, come on, be so for real. And if you're Black, oh, definitely. Because now you're saying things that the whites wish they could say, right? Like this whole week, not this week, but past week or so, the House twins, Stevie Knight and stuff like that, Oliver Tatum, they've been getting called out heavily, right? For what they do. Because their content skews truly, truly hateful against African Americans. Everything is black people this, black people that, black people this, black people that. In the past 3 weeks, we've had 4 or 5 massive, massive shootings by white boys, and nobody covers that. Even yesterday again, a white boy went and shot a whole place up, and nobody covers that, right? Because in America, you're not supposed to talk about white people when they fuck up. You're not supposed to talk about white people when they do a thing. And when they do a bad thing in America, you only have to hold the individual accountable. You don't get to hold all of white society accountable. But that's how it goes here. Anybody who comes to America, you know, you can be mean to African Americans. You're gonna make money, right? You can lie on them. You'll be successful. You can steal their money. You will be successful because America is racist. America's really racist. Okay. And so Cassie, most likely she's also a bigot. J-Lo did the same thing. When J-Lo wanted to have some edge, she started dating Diddy, right? So he could give her some edge until the edge got to be too much, right? But that's the culture here. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. And they know. And they also know, everybody knows this. If a Black American man dates a white woman or a white skinned woman and he gets in trouble, people know that he's going to be forsaken. Like the Black American woman is not going to help him. Because people are like, oh, well, that's what you get. You know, they're very ignorant. That's what you get. That's what you get. Right? Fickle ass community. Fickle ass unity. Right? So it's very easy. It's a people that's really easy to destroy. They just don't have the self awareness. They don't have the self awareness. Uh, They do not have the self-awareness. Like, you know what? Even if, even if you're mad at Diddy, you save Diddy first. Once you save him, then you cuss him out, right? That's what my mom will always say. When it comes to your family, no matter what happens, you save your family first. No, when you get your family home, then you cuss them out, right? No, they're gonna do it in public. They're gonna help a Filipino. Like, yeah, yeah, you right, you right. Yeah, you right. What? She's right. What? You think if the shoe was on the other foot, you don't think that there are a bunch of Vietnamese and Filipinos out here, men who do all kinds of evil shit, right? You think a Filipino gonna help you destroy her own man? Yeah, the fuck. Right. Yeah, the fuck. Right. Okay. Yeah, they don't. No, because the NAACP, they're completely ran by the Democratic Party. They don't care about black people. They don't care about black Americans. They care about being taken care of. Huh. This country is so fucking treacherous. It's so treacherous. But my point is, going back to Diddy, he's really upsetting me because he's not fighting. He's not fighting. He's being very submissive. And it's like he acts as if he doesn't know that he's actually from here. You're not an immigrant. Like, I'm an immigrant. You are not an immigrant. You are from here. How you gonna bag an Indian that's been here for like what, less than 30 years or so? That's why I respect Nick Fuentes sometimes. Because Nick Fuentes, he gonna let you know you are not an American. You are an immigrant. Okay? Know your place. Know your place. I respect that shit about Nick Fuentes. Even I'm telling you, like, even from prison, I'm gonna make sure that whenever this judge goes up for election, I'm gonna put so much money behind this competition. Play with me. Play with me. Oh my gosh, please play with me. Yeah. But and he thinks, and Diddy thinks that, oh, if he takes accountability, if he apologizes, if he says, oh, I'm so sorry for what I did, he thinks they'll have mercy on him. No, they will not. No, they will not. In this country, me, one thing I learned about America, and I've really learned that with Trump, you want to make it here, be a fucking asshole. Be a fucking ass. Okay? Apologize for what, bitch? Apologize for what? What am I apologizing for? Okay, is she a child? Was she a child? Like, what am I apologizing for? Yes. So that's the thing, Jay. Like he's acting like he's an immigrant. That judge does not make more than 200,000. That judge does not make more than 200,000. And I'm sure that judge still even he still has student loans. I'm like in that courtroom. Diddy was the richest man in there. And he's so scared. Why are you scared? Why are you scared? Like seriously, let's even say the people say, no, I'm it's not because let's even say, right? Let's even say the judge says, "Oh yeah, I'm giving you 10 years. No problem. He gonna lose his license. You crazy? You gonna lose your license because we are taking this to the appellate court, and if it doesn't work out there, we're gonna go to the Supreme Court. That's not a problem. I mean, like it's America. There's a system. He's a judge. He's not a god. He is one judge out of many judges. He is not a god. And also, like y'all know, you know Todd Chrisley, right? From Chrisley Knows Best. You see how Todd got to prison? Because Todd and his wife, for the stealing of the money from the banks that they did, they had like 12 years, something crazy. You see the daughter Savannah? Now they're saying Savannah had sex with people. I don't believe that. I think they paid people. They paid people to get access to Donald Trump so that her parents would get the pardon, right? So I'm like, you have money. Find somebody and someone you trust to Mar-a-Lago. Send somebody to Florida. Send someone to Florida. Because Trump, he don't care. If you're giving money, he gonna help you out. Send somebody to Mar-a-Lago. Okay? Find a way to get in touch with Jared Kushner. Why are you sitting here crying for what? Why are you crying for? Why are you crying? I could understand if you're a regular black person with regular money. Then yeah, you're fucking cooked. Okay? You're fucking cooked. Because it's expensive. It's incredibly expensive to fight like that. Right? But when you're worth 300 million, you can have anybody you want in your pocket. You can have the governor of New York in your pocket. Why are you crying for? Why are you begging for? Exactly. He acts like he's an illegal person. Yeah, I really I cannot. I cannot. I cannot. Yeah. Somebody who came from America, from India, like 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Your people been here since the Civil War. You gonna be scared to look away because he wears a black robe. Oh, rubbish. 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 Yeah. So that's the thing. Like you see, even with Mayor Eric Adams, when he realized that these Democrats were trying to lock his ass up, guess what he did? Allegiance to Trump. His charges were dropped. Uh-huh. His charges were dropped because these Democrats were really, really trying to send Mayor Eric Adams to the gulag. You know, and he's not my favorite too. But listen, I stood up for him. I was like, no, the fuck? All these Jews in New York City do all kinds of corruption. Bill Ackman made $2.6 billion in 2 weeks. How can you make 1.3 billion in 1 week? Right? 2.6 billion in 2 weeks. And you want to lock up Mayor Eric Adams because he took an upgrade into first class. Are you kidding me? these people, these people are fucking racist. Okay? These people are fucking racist. They are fucking racist. He took an upgrade, you guys, Turkish Airlines. They said, oh, that Eric Adams took an upgrade from coach, I guess, whatever. and he was upgraded into first class. So because of that, they want to bring federal charges against Eric Adams, right? Meanwhile, Bill Ackman, the Jew, made 2.6 billion in 2 weeks doing insurance fraud. No charges, no SEC investigation. N- The DA of New York City did not look into it. Nothing at all. Because somebody took an upgrade. You want to send him to the gulag? Like for real, for real? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And then they want to shame Merrick Adams for for uniting with Trump. Hell yeah. Who's not gonna do that? Who is not going to do that? You're gonna let people take you to prison because you took an upgrade into first class? Meanwhile, there's so many Jews in New York City who commit all kinds of fraud, and they constantly go unpunished. They're never being investigated, right? How many of these rabbis in New York City are giving blowjobs to baby? Okay, how many of them? And that's the thing, because Diddy, I think he has a house in the Hamptons, no? I think he's sometimes in the Hamptons out there. But I'm truly disappointed that he doesn't have too many Jewish friends like that. Why does he have Jewish allies? And I also feel like he should go to Israel and bang his head against that wall. Okay. He should go to Israel and he should have banged his head against that wall. Because this is ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. But I repeat though, I am truly not loving the fact that he's begging this Indian. Since yesterday, I've been pissed off. Do not like the fact that he's begging this Indian man. He absolutely damn. Have you ever seen Indians also like serve in the U.S. military? I was looking at Vivek Ramaswamy, and Vivek was talking this whole constitutional shit. Oh, America is our country. I'm like, Vivek, shut up. Okay, you've never served. There's not a single person in your bloodline that's ever served in the U.S. military. Nobody in your bloodline was willing to die for this nation. You came to this country, you went to an Ivy League, probably pretend to be a minority, right? Then he went into investment banking, like biotech, investment banking, making all kinds of money, right? So it's very easy to be like, oh, yeah, I love America. Because when I was 26 years old, I was already making like $700,000, right? How many Indians serve in the US military? And they come to America, they have all these fancy positions. They get to be CEOs and all that kind of shit, right? Get to be the bosses of black people, get to come to these companies, lay off thousands of people, right? Like, who you think you are? Like, who you think you are? Who do you think you are? And I'm like, you have to respect yourself. Yeah, exactly. That's why they love America because they come here as foreigners, brown skin, whatever, with their Anglo-Saxon mindset, right? Commit all kinds of stock market fraud, okay? Get to be super rich. No, oh, I love Americans. I'm so proud to be an American. Shut up, you swindler. Shut up. Shut the hell up. My point is, oh, Marlene, I am not begging an Indian man. I will never do that. Yeah, they do. There are a bunch of cases in Minnesota, not Minnesota, no, in Washington State, where some Indians are suing other Indians for bringing the caste system into the workplace and not allowing those people who are at the bottom of the caste to receive any promotions. Which is why I also say that Diddy's lawyers are trash. Because when they were even in the trial, they should have asked the judge to recuse himself because he's Indian. They should have asked the judge to recuse himself because they should have asked him, what's your caste system? They should have had this judge investigated to understand his caste system. Okay. And ask him to recuse himself because in their culture, in their country, Black people are at the bottom. The Dalit people are at the bottom. You see, because they're white, they don't see it. Because white people don't get oppressed by Indians. That's why you have to be very careful hiring white lawyers to come fight for you because they haven't lived your Black life. They haven't lived your Black life. Okay. They have not lived your Black life. But I'm like, what if we find out that this judge is a Brahmin? Okay. Because I'm like, did he in India, he will be a Dalit, right? And there are a lot of Indians that are bigots. A lot of Indians are bigots. They are true bigots. They're mean. They're mean. Okay. They're truly mean. Yeah, he might, most likely he's the Brahmin. Most likely he's the Brahmin. And the fact that his lawyers did not even bring up the caste system of the judge, that's problematic for me. Because if you, somebody, because he wasn't born here, he was raised in India. that he came here to go to school. So he's already like, he's already molded. You know what I'm saying? His brain is already molded. So he doesn't like black people, right? His brain is already molded. Okay, so I gotta step right here, right? Okay, helping you guys. Let me stop here. His brain is already molded. So his attitude towards dark skinned people, right? Towards black people, you can't take that shit out of him. You cannot take that shit out of him. And because this case is packed with stereotypes. That's the problem with this case. Is like this case is packed with so many destructive stereotypes against a black American man. It's full of stereotypes. It's so full of stereotypes. So you need someone who's not a bigot. You need someone who does not have a preconceived notion of black people, of Dalit people, of African Americans, who can look at this case objectively, right? And it's not going to be an Indian. It's not even going to be a Mexican. Sorry, y'all. My apologies. Okay. Oh, Lord. Y'all got me through that. I didn't think I was going to do it. Y'all got me through it. Yeah. Oh, Lord. I hit something. Sorry, y'all. But I'm like, you have to know. Okay, go. Right? You got to respect yourself. Yeah. But and then it funny that isn't it funny how the one person who saved Diddy was the jury member from Europe with a PhD? Ain't it funny? Ain't it funny? Right? Isn't that funny? That white man from Europe, they think he's like Russian or something, right? He's the only one who went in there with no perceived notion. Like, and maybe also because he's Russian, he's very familiar with how in America, people never care to know the truth, though. People only go for narratives, right? That's the thing. It's a narrative. And I was even thinking about that. Like, another thing also that really pisses me off. I really think, hold on, sorry. I really think that one day, I think a lot of Black American men are going to have to come together and truly realize that there is a warfare being waged against. I mean, it has been going on for a while though, but now it's like it's really reaching a fever pitch, right? And I'm like, a lot of black men, Black American men who are really wealthy need to come together. I'm not gonna say come out there with your name because they might hurt you, right? But I feel like on the low low, okay, in the dark night, right? They have to find a way to have a brotherhood. And when somebody gets accused of something, everybody rallies behind that person, right? On the low low. Like sometimes because that's the thing about the Jews. It's like when you study the Jews, I'm telling you, like this whole thing with like the Jews, the Charlie Kirk thing, it has really opened my eyes because the Jewish people, they never said out loud, oh, we're gonna take over America. Right? Nah. When they go to those synagogues, when nobody else is welcome to go into, when they go to those synagogues, whatever they do, they talk about their plans to take over America, but they don't talk about that stuff out loud, right? But I'm like, when Jonathan Majors got in trouble, right? All these men in Hollywood, all these black men should have rallied behind him on the low low, give him money on the low low so he can get the best attorney possible because you got to protect your brand. But the problem is when one black American man gets accused of sexual this, sexual that, sexual that, every other black American man that has a lot of money, like, oh well, I'm not getting close to him. I'm not getting close to him. Fool, they're coming for you next. They are coming for you next. Since Jonathan Majors, as this okay, they gonna knock each and every single one of y'all. You people are no, they're so unserious. They're so like you gotta get your manhood up. But when they came for Jonathan Majors, because that Jonathan Majors shit was so fucking wild. How can you see a man run away from a woman? I'm like, I have never seen this. A man is running away from a woman. He doesn't want to hit her. He don't want to talk to her. He wants nothing to do with her. He runs away. She's running. Oh, I'm so scared. Oh, he's so abusive. Oh, I'm so afraid of him. You're afraid of him, but you're running behind him. You see Jonathan Major run with everything in his body to get away from this white girl. And yet he's the one who's found guilty. So at some point, you got to say to yourself, hold on, hold on, hold on. Something is going on here. Something is going on. So I'm not saying you have to come outside, but oh, I'm going to defend Jonathan Majors because we know when it comes to the average American public, they're fucking idiots. They're a bunch of sheep. Whatever the media tells them, they're gonna repeat it, right? Whatever the media tell them to do, they're gonna repeat it. And let's not even talk about Black American women, or they're the worst. They are the worst. Because to me, and that's why I'm always gonna say this, like this whole FBA shit, it don't mean shit to me. Like, I don't even give a fuck. I think it's so comical because everybody knows if you move to America, that between the Black American woman and the Black American man, they have the most fickled unity. Okay. Like their unity, it wouldn't even last the test of a dollar. Okay. All it takes is one interracial relationship, their friendship falls apart. All it takes is, oh, he's with a white woman, it falls apart. Fickled. It's a fickled ass community. I'm gonna tell you this. And if you're offended, who gives a fuck? It's a fickle. The Black American community is fickled as fuck. That's why everybody feels as though they can do whatever they want. They can lie how they want. They can come over here, play black, act black, then lie on the black. They can do whatever they want because they know this is not a real community. It is not a real community. It's a joke. It is a joke because to see your own brother, even if you're upset at Jonathan for dating a white woman, this is fucking weird. This is fucking weird. When have you ever seen a man run away from a woman and yet he's the one getting convicted of a crime? Like, what the fuck? And she didn't get convicted? No, she put her hands on him. She was hitting him. She was chasing behind him. She was harassing him. That white girl did not face a single charge. And then you don't see these Black American women on the internet. Oh, he called her Coretta Scott King. Their biggest concern was the fact that he referred to this young woman that he wanted her to be Coretta. Do you see the idiocy of people out here? Like, do you see how idiotic some people are? I'm like, when I tell you white people, listen to me well. When I tell you that white Americans, and even the Jews, they have done a masterful job turning the vast majority of Black Americans, like their brain, into scrambled eggs. It's unbelievable. People are robbing you of your constitutional rights. Your main concern is Coretta Scott King law. Wow. I mean, just fucking wow. You're gonna come back 20 years from now, you're gonna see this wildcat, they're gonna give like $500,000. This is not possible. It is not possible. And there's a time to be foolish, and there's a time to be very serious. This country is known for robbing African Americans of their constitutional rights. Your constitutional rights, that's all the fuck you got. That's all the fuck you got. You lose these shit, like you're no different than a Palestinian in Gaza. They have no fucking rights. They have no fucking rights. You are sitting here watching your fellow FBA, right? That's why I say I don't take this FBA shit seriously. I don't take it seriously. It's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke. Because no matter what, even if you're mad at Jonathan for dating a white woman, we can talk about that later. We can seriously talk about that shit later because it's not important. The whole, oh, he asked her to be like Coretta Scott King. Sure, whatever. It is not important because constitutionally, how the fuck does this make sense? He's being pursued by white women, chased by white women, being beat up by white women. She's scratching him up and down, but somehow he's the one who gets convicted. And that doesn't scare you? Of course not. Of course not. Because if a Black American man dates a white woman, white people can do whatever they want to do, they want to do to that person. They can do whatever. If they want to lynch this man, these black people, like, yeah, do it because he had sex with a white woman. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And then they're like, oh, yes, black women, we're so loyal to the black. No, you're not. You don't have a choice. Like, if you could go somewhere, you would. You don't have a choice. Stop lying. We know what loyalty looks like, and this ain't it. This is not it. This is crazy. Like me, Marlene, as an Ivorian woman, I don't care how many white girl an Ivorian man sleeps with. If a white girl is chasing him, he's running away from you. You're the one that beats on him. You put your hands on him. And then you have the audacity to play the victim? When I tell you I will be his lawyer so fucking quickly, I will handle your white ass. Because to me, the main thing is to teach white people. You will treat black people, you will treat black Americans not as black Americans, but as American people. Go somewhere with your bullshit. Go somewhere with your bullshit. And ever since, even with the whole Carmelo Anthony thing, even with the whole Carmelo Anthony thing, you keep seeing over and over and over that the one wish for these white Americans is that black Americans do not get the same rights under the Constitution. And that right there is extremely problematic. Because no matter what the fuck you heard, no matter what the fuck you heard about Carmelo and Austin Metcalf, right? The Constitution says that you are presumed innocent. The burden of proof is not on the accused, it's on the prosecution. So as far as we know, Carmelo's innocent, even if he said he didn't. Oh well, When he said he did it, did the police officer tell him, you don't have, let me read your Miranda rights? It's funny how nobody asked if Carmelo was read his Miranda. Because when he says he did it, did you say, okay, stop, because I have not yet read you your Miranda rights? Because even that right there, him saying he did it also, that shit need to be scratched out because nobody read that boy his Miranda rights. Look, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And this is all you keep saying over and over and over again. And so to me, that's why I said it's very comical, this whole FBA shit, because people love to talk about being FBA, but you yourself don't even know the Constitution. Go sit down somewhere. Like, doesn't matter. You can sit here and claim as much as you want that you were here, you were here. No one cares. What legitimizes who you are in this nation history, is the fact that you have the same rights. You lay claim to the Constitution the same way a white American would. You talk about being here first. It doesn't matter. The Native American were here first. Where they at now? Okay? Where they at now? The most important thing is making sure that the Constitution fully applies to you the same way it would apply to a white American, because that's what it means to be an American. That's what it means to be an American. But I'm like, the moment when Carmelo said, oh, I did it. Okay. Did you read him his Miranda rights? Did you tell him that he had the right to remain silent? Right? No. Oh, okay. So right there, it's violation of his constitutional rights. The boy goes to the jailhouse. They give this boy bail of a million for what reason? He is 17 years old. It happened at a track meet. He has a 4.0, 3.7 GPA. He's a captain of two football teams. His mom is a stay-at-home mom. Bunch of little babies. Where are they going? Where are they going? So why the fuck is this bail at a million? Nobody's screaming. This is a violation of his constitutional right, because the Eighth Amendment is not about punishing people. The requirement for bail is not punishment. Okay, punishment will be determined after you have been convicted by petit jury, right? But it's not up to the judge at your pretrial, like your pretrial when you get detained, or the magistrate to use bail to punish you, because we have yet to go through the case. We have yet to go through the evidence, right? So I'm like, how is this okay though? How is this okay? And then you got the NAACP that's full of FBAs, right? You got the NAACP that is full of FBAs. They're sitting here watching this boy, because this thing was so fucking viral. You cannot tell me that there was nobody at the NAACP, especially the legal department, who did not see what was going on with Carmelo. Like, hold up, wait a minute. What happened again? What happened again? Why is this bail at a million? Because that very moment, people from DC, the NAACP, they should have flown to Texas and to ask questions. Don't speak more. Explain that to me again. Why is this 17-year-old being given $1 million bail? For what reason? For what reason? Right? Okay, the boy got struck in the heart. Okay, have we done an autopsy to know at which angle his heart was struck? And how do I know? Because it was raining. How do I know he didn't fall on the knife? So slow down, slow down. Okay, bring that shit down. You look at 26 miles within, like, what, 26 minutes away. I think it's like the other county with the boy Kaysen, that white boy Kaysen who stabbed the Latino boy multiple times. It's like maybe like 16 miles from where he is, from where Carmelo is, right? His bail was reduced to like 100,000, something so minimal. And yet he was out on bail, right, for battery. Then he came back and he stabbed the Latino boy. He stabbed the Latino boy. How does that make sense? How does any of this make sense? And it always comes down to, like, when you have a Black American man that is being accused of something, his constitutional rights are always bastardized. They are always trampled. And that shit fucking angers me. It fucking angers me. It truly angers me. And that's why I feel as though when it comes to Diddy, his letter to the judge should have been a letter where he completely puts on display the number of times that he was not treated as an American. And instead, once again, you would think we're back in the Jim Crow, I guess the Jim Crow North, right? Where he is treated not only as a second class citizen, but as some kind of illegal. Like, even these illegals have more rights than Diddy. You can't deport them. You cannot call ICE on them. You cannot do this to them. Do you know that an illegal can go around stabbing people multiple times and you don't have the right to call the police does not have the right to call ICE? We are sitting here in America, okay? We are sitting here in America. Listen to me. And we are watching illegal immigrants have more rights than African Americans. Nobody's triggered. Nobody's triggered. No, let's talk about Cardi B versus Nicki Minaj. Let's talk about Diddy and who slept with a white woman. Bunch of stupid ass conversations. Bunch of stupid ass conversation. Do you know, like, even like here in Maryland, I think we had like two murders in Maryland, right? We've had two murders in Maryland that I know of, right? The Latino boy, he went into a house in California. He walked into a house, just walked into the house, and he raped a 9-year old. Then he walked out the house. Somehow he left California. He came to Maryland. There was a white girl who was running. He snatched her up. He raped her, cut her body, and then he threw her body somewhere, right? But the reason why nobody knew, because when you get caught, like when you do shit, the police cannot call ICE. The same thing happened in New York City. New York City, we saw on video 4K 1080p, right? These Latino boys started beating police officers. They started beating the police officer. They were beating that man. That man was on the ground. They kept beating the police officer, right? And guess what? They were not able to call ICE. They were not able to call ICE. Two of the boys got away. I think they went to like Arizona or something like that. They were not able to call ICE. Two were detained. But the one that were taken to jailhouse, they were given a bail. Guess how much the bail was? $1. The bail was $1. This is after we have seen Philando Castile get blown up. Yes, I remember the video because I watched the video. We saw Philando Castile get unalive in 4K 1080p by a white police officer, right? We how many how oh my, there was somebody else. How many people have we seen back to back to back to back get killed by police officers, right? On camera. How many black people have we seen? How many black American men have we seen on camera get murdered by white police officers, right? Latinos can be in New York City. Latinos can be in Denver, you name it, illegally. They will put their hands on these cops. They will beat up these cops. They will beat a cop bloody, right? And they go to the jailhouse and they're given bail for $1. And so they walk out. And so they walk out, and we're sitting here and we are witnessing that. And instead of having these real conversations, people want you to talk about foolishness, talk about sheer foolishness. So I'm like, I wish that Diddy would have taken the opportunity with his letter to the judge to really express his extreme disappointment, not just as an American, not just as a descendant of Black people here who fought the Civil War, as a resident of New York City, as a taxpayer, as a businessman, how he would have expressed his strong disappointment in the legal system of New York City, especially the Southern District of New York, that seems to only go after certain men, right? Because the entire process, due process did not apply to Diddy. And that is not fair. That is not fair. Before he could even go to trial, the people, whoever's behind this, had done such a, I guess, a great job with the media to have people see this man a certain way without even allowing him to reveal who he truly is. I'm like, he's a whole human being. He's a whole human being. And there's not even a single moment where anybody tried to humanize Diddy. Like, okay, like, how the fuck did you become this person? Right? We keep hearing, okay, this man is a voyeur. Okay, how did he become a voyeur? How does somebody become a voyeur? What does it even mean to be a voyeur? Right? We see a young man who grew up in an inner city. His father was murdered when he was only 3 years old. And nobody even says to themselves, wow, I wonder how that could have affected Diddy. You know what I mean? I wonder. Me, I don't know. I've always had my dad. My dad's here, right? But I wonder when you grow up because your father got shot, because your father got pew pew, right? What does that do to a person? What does that do to a young man? What kind of environment did Diddy actually grow up in? Right? It's like nobody even cares to humanize this person. Nobody cares to humanize them because some Filipina made some allegation. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You people always you claim that these black American men are so dangerous, but you always want to be around these people. You always want to be around these people. What the fuck do you want? What the fuck do you want? Right? A man has a whole record label called Bad Boy. You want to go there. Right? A man makes rap music. You want to be around that shit. You always want to be around these black dudes. Like, why? You claim they're dangerous. Okay, then why are you here? Why are you here? Right? But I'll tell you this though, I was extremely triggered that he was not humanized in the entire process because he also has a story. He's a human being. He's somebody else's child. Everybody has a story. Everybody does. You might not like his actions, but who are you to deny him of a chance to be humanized? Um, oh, sorry about this. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, guys, they're talking to me. So I'm like, hold on. I took my stuff off. I just sat down and started talking to her. Oh, you can't be talking while you're on the floor. Sorry. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah. Sorry, yo, hold on. Let me get myself. I'm like, what the fuck? No, you don't have the right to humanize him. Whatever people say about him, that's it. Nobody has the right to say anything good about Diddy. Why we can't say anything good about Diddy? What the heck? Sorry, you guys, hold on. Right? Why can't we say anything good about the Sean Combs? Right? I just thought that. Sorry, let me sit down right here. No, I was doing an hour. I need a break. My body is sore. Oh Lord, my van. Okay. I'm like, no. No, I'm just like, no, I didn't 1 hour. I'll go back into another hour. But I'm just saying, like, I'm like, why? Why? And that's the part I don't like. I don't like the part where it's like when the media runs a narrative on people, oh, Diddy's a monster. Like they love to say that. I'm like, why is he a monster? What makes him a monster? Why you saw Andrew Cuomo, the Italian, as if his brother was not out here grabbing people and doing all kinds of weird shit in Rochester as the governor, right? He was like, "Oh, is that part of hip hop culture? Is your brother grabbing women part of Italian culture? Like, go sit down somewhere, you fucking weirdo. Go sit down somewhere." But you could just see, like Chris Cuomo, he was so like he was salivating at the idea that potentially or maybe Diddy was having sex with minors. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? When you look at the numbers. When you look at the numbers when it comes to sex crimes, when you look at the stats when it comes to sex crimes, Black guys are not into children. Thank you. Okay. People who love to sleep with kids, people who love to sleep with children, people who love to watch child pornography are white men. It's not black men. Okay. So the odds of Diddy being into little girls, very slim to none. Now, if he was a white man, be a lot higher. Okay. Right. So it's like, go sit down somewhere. Go fucking sit down somewhere. But I do believe that this whole Diddy thing was a distraction from Jeffrey Epstein. You know what I'm saying? I do believe that this Diddy thing was a distraction for Jeffrey Epstein. No, black men are not into children. The numbers are out there. These are stats from the US government. If you find a man that has child pornography, it's like 7 out of 3, 7 out of 10 of these people will be white men. They'll be white. White men are more attracted to children. Black men are not attracted to children. So if you were to ever leave your children, if you had to choose between a white man, a black man, a Native American man, a Spanish man, who should I let watch my kids? Leave your child with the black man. There's only a 12% chance that the black man will be attracted to a child. 12%. So out of 10 black men, it's only one out of 10 white men, 7 white men have an attraction to children. Okay. 7 white men out of 10 have some kind of child pornography on their computers, on their phones, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm like, what are the odds of that? Right. So, no, but they were really, really hoping that they could stick children onto Diddy to say that, oh, he was having sex with underage people. Right. And once again, I repeat, no matter how upset you are at Diddy for dating white girls, for not marrying Kim, this, and that, it doesn't mean that we take away support from Diddy because we're mad at certain things. You can be mad at certain things, but you still have to look at the bigger picture. Diddy is not a pedophile. For all the years that we have known Diddy, you have never heard that Diddy has been with a child, been around children, had little girls come to the studio. No, they're grown. They are grown. You can say the man is a cheater, right? Now, is it right to cheat? Personally, I will say no. But at the same time, though, these entertainer people, they live a whole different lifestyle. They live a whole different lifestyle. So I guess over there, they do all kinds of weird shit, right? But just because you are a cheater, just because you're a playboy, just because you love to be around a bunch of pretty girls, doesn't mean that you sleep with children. We have to stop. Like, people really have to stop vilifying people. They really, really have to stop vilifying people, right? But it was a major distraction to get people to not look into the Epstein file. When I tell you that European man, that Russian man, he really saved Diddy. Because if they had Diddy, they were going to hide behind Diddy to not have to talk about the Epstein files. You understand? Because that's how it goes. If you live here, I mean, if you're born here, you should kind of see this. But if you lived in America long enough, like I have as an immigrant, you know that every time white people are trying to hide something, they go find a black person to make the scapegoat. Every time white people have something that they need to own up to, they go find a convenient black American that could be the image bearer of what they're hiding. Like the past 2 days, I watched a few videos by Nick Fuentes, and he was calling out Matt Walsh because he was like, listen, Matt, you claim to be so white, so pro America, such a nationalist, but how come you only call out black people? You only call out black people. You only call out the Arabs. You only call out the Asians. Why don't you call out the Jews? Because he said, let's be so for real. Blacks don't run America. Blacks don't have the most money in America. Blacks don't run the banks. They don't run the government. And I'm like, oh, look at Nick and his 2% African side, right? Because that's how it goes. Every time you want to distract the population over here, every time white Americans want to distract the bigger population of white Americans, what do they do? Talk about black on black crime. What are the blacks doing? What the blacks doing? It's a distraction mechanism. It's a distraction tactic. I have noticed that. I have noticed that. So I feel like because a lot of these people are involved with Jeffrey Epstein, a lot of these people on the tapes, the files, whatever, whatever, they needed a major distraction. So you have to make Diddy the pariah. You have to make Diddy the image bearer. You have to make Diddy carry all the sins of Jeffrey Epstein. And I'm like, hold up, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. Okay, listen. I'm not saying Diddy is perfect. I'm not saying there are not things that Diddy has to answer for, but what you're not going to do, like and y'all present will say, oh, not on my watch, you're not about to make Diddy the image bearer of Jeffrey Epstein because Jeffrey was really doing human trafficking. Okay. Jeffrey was really out here. He had presidents, he had prime ministers, he had Prince Andrews, anybody who was powerful. He made sure to have these people in a room with an underchild, an underage child, and record that shit. Diddy was not doing that. Okay. Diddy likes to have a good old time with consenting adults. Now, does it get kinky in there and a little sweaty? Yes. But everybody in there is grown. And it was never to leverage things out of people or to blackmail people. Okay. I wouldn't record myself having sex. That's just not me. I can't say I never thought about it because maybe I'm a virtuoso. What do I know? But I will say that people do have the right to record themselves. It's just that if the tape leaks, it can get problematic. Right. But you have the right to record yourself. You got the right. Art to sex to some people is art. I wouldn't do it because what if it leaks, right? But what Jeffrey Epstein was doing, it was for the intention of blackmail. He was trying to blackmail people so that Israel could influence American politics. This is not what Diddy is doing. Diddy's like, we're having a party, and after the party doesn't after party. But it's consensual. You don't have to come, right? And it might get recorded, but you don't got to go there, but it's not with the intent to blackmail you. It's just to see, oh, look what the fuck we did because he's a voyeur. It's very, very different. And Epstein, he's doing it for political motives. They want to control the American government. They want to control American politicians. And they know that these white American men are fake. They have an external image, or I'm a Christian, I'm a married man, I'm a nationalist, I'm a proud Republican, wumpty wump wump, I love Jesus. But behind the scenes, though, they're filthy. They are filthy. And I feel like when it comes to Israel, which is what, when it comes to that, I do fuck with Israel. That is that the Jewish people, right? These Ashkenazi Jews, they understand the sins, they understand the weaknesses of white American men, and they know how to leverage that to get what they want out of those people without having to rely on force. You gotta give them credit, right? If you know that the white American man, because when you study the white American man, you know he loves to lie, you know that he loves money, you know that he's greedy, you know that he's not honest in his business dealings, and you know that a lot of them have a thing for little girls, right? So you say, okay, so if I want this man to do what I need him to do, here's how I can take advantage. I can go through his greed. I can go through his lust. I can go through this. And because he has sold an image to the public, he will do anything in his power to not have the world know who he really is. So this is what they do. And that's what Jeffrey Epstein was doing. Hey, Ninja, that's what he was doing. His intent was get a powerful white American politician in a room with a child, record that shit, and then we can have this man do what needs to be done for the state of Israel, right? That's it. So that was his intent. Diddy, they're just kinky and sweaty. It's not to say, oh, I'm gonna use this from you to nobody ever came. You never heard a single celebrity, even the sex workers, you have not heard a single person complain that they were being recorded against their will and that the video or the tape was ever used to ask anything out of them. Nobody ever came and said that because these are tapes for pleasure. These are tastes for pleasure. It's no different than when you go to the gym and you record yourself when you exercise because you want to see how you're performing. Now, I'm not that kind of kinky, but I can see that because it makes a lot of sense to me, right? That's it. That's that, right? That is it. That is that. It's not the same. But this is why, because they know that the average American can listen worth a damn, right? Can't think for themselves, cannot think critically, which is why, once again, it took the European man who is not from here, who has not been brainwashed by this country and their low level ass education, to really do some sound critical thinking. Like, hold up, this is not adding up. This is not adding up, right? But that's how you know that the vast majority of American people are not capable of critical thinking. And this is why they love short form content, they love TikTok, they love all the brain rot stuff because they don't want to have to think. Because anybody in their right mind will say or would realize that the real mastermind behind this foolishness is actually Cassie. It's actually Cassie. Because who went and got the sex workers? Cassie. Who greets the sex worker? Cassie. Who pays the sex workers? Cassie. Who kept the phone numbers of the sex workers? Cassie. Who was having sex with these people behind Diddy's back? Cassie. Sometimes she goes to New York. Diddy is in Florida or Diddy's in LA. She's in New York City having the time of her life with the sex workers. How many sex workers have you heard say, you know what, she made me feel special? Do you think a one-off conversation is going to make a sex worker feel special? Do you think only talking to somebody twice is going to make a sex worker feel special? No, this was a nurtured relationship. She was nurturing her relationship with these sex workers, which is why they felt special. They felt, oh, wow, I'm the only one. Who's the one who's refusing to give her STD stuff, right? How many sex workers asked Cassie for her STD exams because they want to see her panel for chlamydia, for HIV, for syphilis, for gonorrhea? So many of these sex workers were asking to see her test results. She will never give. How many times have you heard these sex workers say there will be time where Cassie would remove the condom without asking for permission, right? And this is like, this to me is the real fear for the future of America and the American people, because it's not possible that you could hear all these things, but because you have made up in your mind that the black man is the devil, the black man is the demon. The black man must go to prison. The black man, I'm like, this is fucking sick. This is fucking sick. You're a hateful people. But I'm not surprised because white people are hateful. So anybody who's been around white people for a long time, you're also bound to be hateful. People are moved by hatred, not by a sense of getting to the bottom of shit. People don't have integrity out here, y'all. People don't have integrity. People don't have integrity. And I don't even think they care to have integrity. Because when you listen to this stuff carefully, it's something is off. And you realize that the boo boo the fool, you realize that the real idiot is Diddy. He's not even realizing he's getting played because he's paying. Listen, 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 listen. Okay? Listen carefully. She picks the sex workers. Diddy pays for the sex, right? Diddy pays for her apartment. She has two apartments. Diddy pays for her entire lifestyle. She has a luxury lifestyle. She has one apartment in New York City. She has an apartment in Miami. Luxury cars, luxury everything. He pays for that. When she wants sex, because I told you this because we went through it with the whole cockholding thing, and we realized that people who are into cockholding, men that are into cockholding, usually have a smaller penis, right? Maybe you believe me, maybe you do not believe me. But then the sex worker came out, the one who went to prison. He's like, yeah, Diddy has a small penis. And Diddy said to him, man, if I had your penis, shit. Okay. And he also said that many times Cassie would make fun of him because he did not have a big penis. So he could not satisfy her, right? He could not satisfy her. So once again, because he loves her, because he's a good boyfriend. I mean, I guess it's a weird ass relationship, but nonetheless, right? In order to make sure that she is sexually pleased, he agrees, right? Isn't it funny how of all his other girlfriends, you never heard of freak off with anybody else? So she's the one who brought the freak offs to him. She's the one who brought the freak offs to him. And it's so funny how people, the thing about America sometimes that really gets me, like this bitch confuses me sometimes, right? Like in America, you have people who want you to believe that, they do whatever they want, whenever they want. You can't tell them shit. They're not afraid. God is not real. God is some kind of abstract construct, right? The man decides what he wants to do. The woman decides what she wants to do, right? Cool. But at the same time, right, when shit gets real, now they want to act traditional. Oh my gosh, I can't believe people will be into that kind of stuff. No, like you're either a slut or you're an altar boy. Which one is it, right? You're either a slut or you're a nun. You can't have it both ways. I feel like sometimes American people want to be the biggest whores known to humanity, right? But then when it's time, when the bill comes up for what it means to be a whore. Oh no, I'm so shocked. I am so shocked. The same people who always say, oh, as long as it's two consenting adults, I don't care. As long as it's two consenting adults, I don't care what people do in the privacy of their bedroom. All of a sudden, because it's Diddy and they don't like Diddy and he happens to be a Black American man, oh, now we care what he does in his bedroom. Oh, now we care how he has sex. Now we care how long the sex lasts for. Why do you care? How does that concern you? If it's not down to the fact that this country has always been obsessed with Black penises, right? Yeah, it's like you have to choose. You're either a progressive society or you are a traditional society, right? This is the same country where for an entire month in June, white men mostly who are gay can have sex outside, orgies outside, walk around in their thongs, their penises, do all kinds of shit, right? You can do whatever you want to do outside, right? That's perfectly fine. But what you do inside as an adult, like now the government wants to police how you do it. Bullshit. Bullshit. The Constitution does not give the government this kind of purview inside of people's bedrooms. That is insanity. But once again, though, you realize that Diddy, because he loves her, so okay, fine. Since you want to have sex, 'cause I can't satisfy you, you go and you find people that have the big penises. So she got to choose, right? And who gets to pay? He pays for that. He pays for her to have sex with other men so she can enjoy having sex. Like, do you see this? But somehow he's the bad guy. Chung Lee. He's the bad guy. Chung Lee. I'm like, everything was explained to people. I'm like, it's not that hard. It is really not that hard to see what is going on. The dude has a small penis. He has a complex. He's very self-aware about the size of his penis, and she knows that. And because she's so damn, Cassie's so fucking evil. Cassie to me is, I wish I could meet that bitch face to face. I will cuss her ass out. Because to me, the fact that you know that you people are into BDSM. You're into BDSM. You're into this whole sexual masochism stuff, paraphilic disorders, urolania. What else? What else they're into, right? That's the non-consent. What's it called again? Consent, non-consent, where people pretend to be great, right? Like, we saw the study, right? And even that too, the fact that his lawyers did not bring up any of those studies. These studies were conducted by the NIH. So when our own government is funding research to understand why is it that American women have fantasies of being sexually assaulted, we have to say to ourselves, we have a problem. And maybe a lot of our women in America, right, have sexual desires that are not normal, that are very uncommon. And once those desires are exposed, they feel ashamed. They are ashamed of that. They are ashamed to say, yes, I'm the kind of woman who fantasizes about being sexually assaulted because it doesn't make sense, right? And because she's not comfortable with her sexual desires. She's not comfortable with her sexual ask. She's not comfortable with her sexual acts. Once those things become public, she has to scapegoat the man. But the whole time, it's her idea. These are her sexual desires. And you have to get these women to own that shit. These are your sexual desires. They're your sexual desires. But because now society is looking at you, they look at you and they look at what you do sexually. Well, it doesn't add up. Because how can somebody as pretty as Cassie be into something so dirty, right? How can somebody as pretty as Cassie, as angelic as Cassie, have like dirty sex? Because it's quite dirty. It's quite dirty. But the thing is, that's why I say she might be bipolar. Right? For those of you who remember, when we looked at the whole bipolar people thing, is that they're people that are more likely to have reckless sex. So they're more likely to have sex to see if they can get HIV. They're more likely to have sex to see if they can get pregnant. Like they want to come this close to something bad happening. Okay. Like it turns them on. It's not just the sex. It's not just the fantasy. It's the potential of catching something and not catching it. Even that in itself, it's a high. It's a high. And that's why you'll see when you see a bunch of girls that got a bunch of kids by different men, yeah, most likely they're bipolar. They are bipolar. That it's a thrill. It's like Russian roulette. Is this the guy who's gonna be bringing it up? Because what is stopping you from using contraception? They don't want to use contraception because they don't have a normal brain. They are bipolar. And when bipolar people, like the lady said, like we saw in the videos, when bipolar people go into a hypomanic episode, this is what it does to them. Like they become hypersexual. And when they're hyposexual, when they're hypomanic, going through a hypersexual episode, they don't care about being safe. They don't care. They could even have sex. You can say, I have HIV. Okay, fine. Let's have unprotected sex because they're not in their right mind, right? Because it's part of the disease. It's part of the disease. Like what we see with Cassie is a bevy of mental illnesses. This girl needs fucking issues. She needs issues. He's not even a credible witness. She's not even credible herself because she struggles with who she is. Yeah. Okay. She struggles with who she is. She struggles with who she is. I'm like, this thing is it's freaking real. What did he say? Okay. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I think Cardi, I mean, look at what we saw with Cardi and Nicki. They were going on for 3 days, you guys. They were insulting each other for 3 days, nonstop. They did not sleep. They did not sleep. When we watched Dr. Tracy talk about bipolar people, and when they go into a hypomanic episode, which she said they don't sleep. They can go for days, for days, for days. And I'm like, I wouldn't even be surprised. And I told my sister that because, and I said, Cheryl, we as Christian people, because in America, there's a main culture, right? There's a mainstream culture in America. And the mainstream culture in America has been dictated by white Americans. Okay. And white Americans, if we care to be honest, not to be offensive, but it's true, white Americans are a hateful people. Okay. They're very, very hateful. They're very hateful. So you have to understand that this mainstream culture is also very hateful. And with mainstream culture, you never try to see people as nuanced. You never try to see one side. It's either this person is good or they're bad. It's either or. There's always this dichotomy. But human beings are not that simple. Human beings are extremely complex. So with mainstream American culture, you have to, I don't want to bleach, thank you though. With mainstream culture, you always have to hate people, right? You always have to hate people, right? But what I'm saying is, if you're a Christian, you got to fight mainstream culture and decide not to be a hateful person. And you have to say, I need to get to the bottom of this because nobody is 100% innocent and nobody is 100% guilty, right? Okay. There's something in between because we're all nuanced over here. Okay. We are all nuanced, but there are certain behaviors that you see that should jump at you like, okay, this is not normal. The mere fact that Cassie could not work, she was unable to work because all she could do all day was think about having sex. All she could do all day was think about having sex. Diddy did not make her that way. She was that way before. And like I said, me, I will never stop saying this. I really do believe that this young lady was molested. And I would not be surprised if she was molested by her dad. And people should have asked her that. The lawyers should have asked her that. Okay. The lawyers should have asked her that. All right. Because a lot of young ladies are molested and it affects the way they have sex. It affects the way they have their sexual relationships. It affects how they look at sex. It affects the way that they even treat sex. Okay. But when you hear all these sex workers, I mean, they had about 15 people up there, right? They had like 15 people. How many people they had sex with? Okay. So I'm like, this young lady has a very insatiable libido. Okay. She has an incredible libido. Like, she needs a lot of sex. But like the guy says, she comes very quickly. So she loves sex, but she comes quickly because the guys that she go for, they have really, really big penises. So it's not like it can last for a long time because she can't take it. So she comes quickly. And that's why most of the sex workers said she would come, but they would not come. They would have to go off to the side and play with themselves so that they could ejaculate because they could not, they were not satisfied, right? They were not satisfied. But she was easy to satisfy. But it's like she wants to have time, she wants to have sex a lot because she comes quick. I mean, I'm like, it's not that hard. It really is not that hard. Right? But I'm like, when it comes to the entertainment industry, especially with hip hop, I'm talking about hip hop, right? I could see how a lot of these artists are bipolar because they're sleep deprived. The lack of sleep will do something to you. Like, even in places of torture, like Guantanamo, wherever they torture people, right? We know that tool of torture is depriving people of sleep. When you deprive people of sleep, when you deprive the brain of rest, people start doing weird shit. because they haven't slept in a very long time. So think about Diddy, for example, right? In a 3 month span, in a 6 month span, or even an entire year, how many hours do you think he sleeps every day? How many hours do you think he sleeps a day? Right? Take anybody. Even Offset, Cardi B, Nicki, name anybody, right? And we've seen that growing up. These people are in the studio for long hours. They're in the studio for days at a time. It's super dark in the studio. They barely see any sunlight, right? And I'm like, this has to do something to your brain because we know another thing that causes people to have their bipolar episode is the lack of sleep. Being sleep deprived will throw your whole system into a hypomanic episode. There's a lack of sleep. There's a lack of sleep. And with the lack of sleep comes poor judgment. It's no different. Like not, oh, I'm sorry, you guys. Not being fully rested is no different than being inebriated. It's no different than being drunk. It's no different. If you don't sleep for days at a time, like the poor choices you're going to make, the horrible diet you're going to have, the poor choices you're going to make, people not going to recognize you. And it's not because you're a bad person, you haven't slept. So when you don't properly rest the body for prolonged periods of time, yeah, I could see how if you're not bipolar, you're going to be bipolar. If you are bipolar, you're going to have horrible hypomanic episodes. Okay. And when you are in those episodes, you make horrible choices. You make horrible choices. Yeah, because they go to bed at 7, right? They go home to their families at 7. They have more sensible work hours. They don't stay in the studio all the time. So they K Michelle said, like a 7:30, people in Nashville, they go home to their families. So they're able to go to sleep and then they come back to work. Whereas like our people over here, and I told my little sister that, I'm like, look at hip hop, like most of Black artists, they don't sleep. They don't sleep. And we have a thing, it's like we even glamorize that, like, right? Oh, hustle culture, grind culture, work, don't sleep, work hard, don't sleep. It's like it's incredibly stupid. It is so harmful because if you're not sleeping right, if you're not resting right, you are going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt other people. You know what I mean? But I think the thing is, like a lot of people are not aware of what it is to be bipolar. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people are not aware that they're bipolar. I think a lot of people, like when they say, "Oh, I'm just being myself," or "I have lots of energy" and things like that, they call it having high energy, or "I've always been this way. I'm an energizer bunny." They call it whatever they call it. It's like, no, you're having a hypomanic episode. You're manic. You are manic. Just like when we were watching Dame, I was going along with it a little bit, but towards the end of the Breakfast Club interview, I said, hold up. I really feel like I've just witnessed a manic episode, right? Can't sit still, can't stop talking, moving all over the place. I'm like, yeah, he's manic. Dame is absolutely manic. But once again, look at his career in hip hop. They don't sleep. Studio, nightclub, repeat. Studio, nightclub, repeat. Studio, nightclub, girls, sex, drugs, alcohol, right? How are your brain not gonna be fucked up? How is your brain not going to be damaged? How are you not going to potentially become bipolar? Like, it's a real thing. And I feel like the sad part here in America is that in America, for as much as people claim to care about mental health and stuff like that, they really don't. Because a lot more people need access and they need resources for mental health, like for their mental health, for mental health, right? And I feel like there has to be a whole campaign, the same way they have an anti-bullying campaign, the same way they have a campaign for cancer. We need to have campaigns in America to teach people about bipolar disorder, what it is, how it affects people, how it shows up in people, the behaviors that you are going to see someone exhibit when they're going through a manic episode, right? And how exactly can you get treatment for that, right? But I'm like now, I'm like, like look at all this hypersexual behavior, especially with this female rap. I'm like, yeah, because I'm pretty sure most of these female rappers are bipolar. Most of these young ladies are bipolar. Oh, I'm just a freak. No, you're bipolar. And when you start having these crazy sexual desires, these unhinged sexual urges where you want someone to pee on you, you want someone to choke you and do all kinds of weird shit to you, yeah, you're hypomanic. Your hypersexuality is related to your disorder. You're bipolar. Okay. You are bipolar. You need help. You need a lot of help. And a lot of people, I don't even think Diddy knows he's bipolar. And that's the sad part. I don't even think he knows he's bipolar. Because maybe he thinks, oh, I have a drug problem, I have an anger problem. Sir, it's bigger than that. You're bipolar. So it's not just going to rehab. That might fix the drug part. It's not, oh, I have anger issues. Yeah, sure, maybe, right? But it's bigger than that. You're bipolar. You are bipolar. And I found it very important because, like I said, to me, I'm not impressed of his lawyers. I know he spent a lot of money on these white people, but I'm not impressed because I even feel like even those lawyers too, they should have had his head checked out. But what they did is that they led in with a common stereotype about the Black American man, which is he's violent. You see, and that's why I say they're bigots because that's a stereotype. Because why do you want him to confess to violence? For what reason? Right? For what reason? Yeah. You see a tape? Yes. You see Diddy put hands on her. Diddy is dragging her. Yes. But does that mean he's a violent person? Like, is this his brand violence? Or is this what happens when you come off the drugs after while you're having a hypomanic episode? You know what I'm saying? But they led in with, oh, he's violent and it was domestic violence and he's a violent man and he wants to apologize for domestic violence. Even in his letter, he wrote that shit again. I'm like, stop saying that shit. Okay? Stop saying that shit. You have to understand that you're a drug addict. And on top of that, you're bipolar. You're bipolar. So you and the drugs, when you come off those drugs, bad things happen. One time he almost overdosed. Like he's a drug addict. And it's like, and people want to be, yeah, because maybe with her, the drugs were even worse. Because Jay, I don't know if you noticed that, because I don't know how many people you've dated, but there are certain people, there are certain relationships, Jay, that bring the worst out of you. Like there are people, when they come into your life, especially sexually, they bring the demon out of you. Then you have some people you date, they bring the soft side out of you. I don't know how to explain that. But I feel like Cassie and her demons, he brought more demons out of him, right? She brought more demons out of him. Because imagine I could see it this way. That's the way I see it, right? Imagine being with a woman who knows that you are insecure about your penis, right? And always throws that in your face. And then she wants to have threesomes or whatever, some with other men that have bigger penises than you because she wants you to look at what you don't have. I'm like, how is that not a form of mental abuse? Right? Because think about that. Like you're Diddy, like you're Sean Combs, you have all this money, you have all this fame, but yet your male part is not what you would want it to be. For a man that makes that much money, most people think, oh, he probably got big dick energy. Maybe it's really small. And I think it's very small. I think it's very small. So he's very self-conscious about his penis, which is why I feel like he should have just said that. Like I am very self-conscious about my penis. And she knew that. And because she knows that triggers him, she knows when you talk about Diddy's penis, it makes him feel this small. It's like when you tell Trump he's not a billionaire. Have you ever seen people say to Trump that he's not a billionaire? You can see him like he's about to get out himself. Damon Dash, tell Dame he's broke. Go ahead and tell Dame he's broke. It's a huge trigger for him. It's a big trigger for him, right? So my thing is sometimes you can know that something is a trigger for you and not know how to handle that, or you might not even realize that something is a trigger for you, but you react a certain way. But I'm like, what I have seen about, like, what I have noticed so far about men who are very successful, right? When you bring up something they're not good at, it drives them insane. And they will do because they're very obsessed. That's why they're successful. That same obsession can also be the same thing that brings you down. Because since that's something that you can't fulfill because you can't fix it, right? You obsess over it. You obsess, you compete, you obsess, you compete. And ultimately you become incredibly destructive to self. And I think the young lady, she knew what button to push. Cassie is very manipulative. She's incredibly manipulative. And you see it. It's not just Diddy, it's Kid Cudi. She goes into Kid Cudi life. Oh my gosh, save me from Diddy. He's beating me up. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. So Kid Cudi goes really crazy for her. Oh, I gotta save this young woman. Notice how all these men always feel like they have to save her. Save her from what? Right? Ryan Leslie. How much you want to bet he felt like he had to save her ass also? Look how much he did for her. Wrote her song, produced her song, fought so hard for her to meet Diddy. What did he get out of it? What did he get out of it? Right? You and I'm sure Michael B. Jordan also probably got involved, right? Alex fine. But I'm like, notice how all these men always want to come to her rescue. All these men, and then they're usually black, they're mostly black. Notice how all these men always want to save her. They want to please her. They want to save her. They want to do whatever. They go above and beyond for her. This lady, this young lady is fully aware of the power that she yields over men. She's fully aware. She is fully aware. And I even feel like and I also will say that she is fully aware of the power that she yields over women. She's fully aware of that as well. So she knows how to have the man wrapped around her fingers, and she also knows how to have the ladies wrapped around her finger because she's a sociopath. She's an absolute sociopath, right? And I'm like, when you see Cassie, when you see what Cassie did to Diddy, and how she was able to get people to support her, like it's like people didn't even look at the facts, and even when the facts are glaring at them in the face, oh no, she's young, oh she's innocent, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my god, innocent where the girl can have 5, 6 different penises in one night. Like what the fuck are you talking about? Right? But they want to believe that she's innocent because to them, she's so pretty because her skin is white, her eyes are slanted. It's not possible because you see, the only thing that can corrupt a person with white skin, sleek hair, and slanted eyes is a black person. And this is where you have a big issue is that even a lot of black people themselves don't even realize that there's a white supremacist that lives within. Because when you start to believe that the only way a white skinned Filipina can be corrupt is because a black man corrupted her, you need to get your head checked. You're a racist. You have internalized white supremacy, right? So, her as a Filipina, when you look at her people, her culture, her country, what they're known for, she needs a black American man to corrupt her. So, when their whole country is full of lady boys, their country is full of transsexuals, their country is full of sex workers, their country is full of trainees. So, it's a bunch of black people who went to the Philippines and created that culture. So, these people, like, they don't know sin in their culture, they don't know sexual perversion in their culture, they don't know evil in their culture. So, why does the Philippine look like that? The vast majority of people in the Philippines work in sex work. So it's a black American man who went to the Philippines and trained these people into selling their bodies for money. When you have a host of Filipino girls who are willing to sell their virginity on social media, they sell it for $1,000, they sell it for $500. It's a black American man who went to the Philippines and taught these girls, oh, you can sell your virginity for money. Like, be so for real. Be so for real. Like, it's so crazy to me. The only way a person can know sin is because they've been exposed to black people. And you don't see how that's racist as fuck. Right? So everybody here who has white skin is so angelic. They're so pure. They're so noble. They're so aspirational. They're so pious. They only become wicked. They only become sexually immoral. They only become sexually deviant once they meet a black person. And you don't think that's problematic. I mean, that's just so fucking sick to me. That is so ludicrous to me. Yeah. Like it's like yeah, they all want to save her. But look at Kid Cudi. And then she played, she went back to Diddy, Michael B. Jordan. How much you want to bet she one day and said the same shit she told Kid Cudi? Right? Okay. How much you want to bet? The football player. How much do you want to bet she told the man the same thing? Right? But that's the thing, because she's Filipina and she knows if I'm around these black American men, they're gonna put me on a pedestal. They all have to cry or do whatever, and they're all going to want to come to my rescue. And that's exactly what happens. And every time any black boy goes to defend this girl or try to be her Prince Charming, bad things happen. Bad things happen because she brings bad luck. She brings a lot of bad luck, right? That's the reality. But I'm like, she's fully aware where she does. Even the sex worker, these are grown ass men with big penises. Talk about, oh, she made me feel special. Oh, I thought I was her only one. Oh, I thought I was her favorite. Can you imagine grown ass black dudes with big ass penises? They have abnormal size penises, and they were domesticated. They were submissive. They thought they were special. Oh, I thought I was the only one. I thought I was the only one. I thought I was the only one. How do you think she got these people to think they were the only one? Because she nurtured that relationship. She played the damsel. She played the girl in need. She played the girl who needed that. I need this, I need that. Right? How many times did Cassie remove the condom without their consent? How many, all the guys we watched from Vlad, right? We watched all these guys from Vlad multiple times. She removed the condom without asking these guys if they were okay with that, right? And guess what? Even after they were mad, they kept going back because she made them feel special. They would ask for STD tests and stuff like that. She never would. And they kept going back. Why? Because she made them feel special. And somehow she's not being taxed as the one who's manipulative, as the leader of this RICO, as the leader of this whole sex trafficking ring. She's the leader. She's the leader. This is so damn crazy. But that's how racist this country is. That's why I say, to me, the way I see it, I think a lot of Black American men who have lots of money, they really need to come together. They need to have some kind of private meeting, whether it's like Bill Ackman does it, whether it's in Martha's Vineyard, you name it. But I think very wealthy Black American men in the media need to have they need to have a private meeting, and they need to put some kind of syndicate in place. They really do. It has to be a brotherhood. Like they got to put that stuff in place. And when they come for one, they come for everybody. Like the Three Musketeers. You come for one, you come for everybody. And we will fight for you. Because I said Jonathan Majors should have had more help from other Black American men. Should have had more help. Because this is what they do. And I think the problem also, I think this is what I've noticed too. I think for a lot of Black American people, especially Black American men, they have never studied warfare. You don't know what it is when you're under attack. I don't think you realize it, right? Because you haven't studied warfare. You don't. I don't think you have enough. You don't even have enough like Black generals, like Black American generals and stuff like that, right? They haven't studied warfare because when you study warfare, you will know that when people come for you, they don't come for everybody at once. No, they come for one person at a time. Take them down. Take them down. They start at the bottom. They take people down and they test the reaction. They test the public reaction. Okay, cool. We took this man down. Not too many complaints. Okay, next guy. Take his ass down. Not too many complaints. They will keep chipping away one person at a time. You understand? And while they're chipping away one Black American dude at a time, right? At the same time, they're working on creating a mainstream identity for the Black American man. And if you're not careful, you'll get to a point where you can't escape it. Doesn't matter who, you're gonna even get to a point. If they want to go after Barack Obama, they'll be able to do that. Okay. No, I'm just saying, like, to me, I could see why they would feel like the Black American woman is the enemy because she always gives the talking points to white people. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. Like when I studied like the whole when you study the thing with what's it called? The thing with what's that man's name? What's that man's name? What's the guy? Lyndon B. Johnson, right? The Black American woman gave her consent. She chose money over a man. Like we have to also be honest. No, she has been an enemy at times, and she continues to be an enemy. No, it has to be said, Lonnie. Because if you're like this, nobody can come for you, right? Black Americans have a very fickle union. It's very fickle, right? Like the way you'll see a Black American woman talk about a Black American man, you'll never see that from a Jew. Even though Jew people, they have the issues too, right? But a Jewish woman will never come and expose her own man. No matter how nasty he is, how deviant he is, how much money he has stolen, she'll keep her mouth shut because they will deal with that shit inside the synagogue. They don't do their shit in public, right? So you look at that. What's it called? The Great Plain, whatever the fuck it's called with Lyndon B. Johnson. But ultimately, the Black American woman made a choice. She chose $600 over having a man in her house. That also has to be said, right? You gotta talk about that. Because why would you do that? Right? What goes through your head where you say to yourself, $600 can make up for an entire man, a lover, a friend, a father, a mate, a provider, or protector? That's worth $600 to you? You're batshit crazy because she's greedy. She's very greedy. And the thing about it too, she's a woman who doesn't see the long haul. She doesn't see the long haul. That's why today they're all getting fired, right? Because they thought these jobs, these careers would last forever. But that's the thing, though. How can you say how useful can you be? Because even you as a woman, right? How can you believe that also $600 can make up for a man? It doesn't. It does not, right? It doesn't. Because when you were living on the plantation, you had no money. You didn't leave. When you were living in Jim Crow, you had no money. You didn't leave, right? After Jim Crow, you had no money. You didn't leave. You lived together, right? And the quality of life, the children, the education, the accomplishments were a lot higher. So why would you now say, oh yeah, I think money is better? Why would you think money is better? What would lead you to believe that money is better, right? When Black Americans built the bank, the Freedmen Bank, after the Civil War, there was no money. It was their own money. The Black man was a barber, the Black woman was a maid. They put that money together, they had a bank. So they've always been useful. The Tuskegee Institute was built by a Black man. The NAACP was built by a Black man, right? It's Black women in their greed. People, it's okay to be honest. It's okay to be honest. You study any monumental achievement, especially before the Civil Rights Act, it was a Black American man. It wasn't a Black American woman. People need to stop lying. You need to stop lying. Okay? Yeah. I mean, you can disagree, but as a Black American woman ever built a school? Like, let's be for real. Has a Black American woman ever built a school? Right? If we want to go since plantation, like let's even go with like start with Frederick Douglass, right? From Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman, and then let's start stacking wins and let's start like stacking L's, right? Who has built the most? It's the hands. It's okay to be honest. It's okay. It's okay. It really it's okay, right? You take three people, take Booker T. Washington, take Frederick Douglass, and then take W. Du Bois. Give me three other women who have done the same amount of work. But how can you say what? So what would you want him to do? What would you have wanted the Black man to do during slavery? Explain that to me. What should he have done? What do you think the Black man should have done during slavery? What should he have done that he didn't do? What should he have done? No, but I'm like, talk about slavery. I'm saying, what should he have done? When you look at history, what should Black men at that time, those enslaved Africans, right? What should they have done during slavery that they didn't do? What should they have done? Kill white people, murder white people. Yeah, but my thing is, but even think about that too, Lonnie. Think about that. Would you be proud? Like, think of because I hear what you're saying, right? But think about the legacy of white people. Think about the legacy. Look at the world. Look at the world. Look at the world. Look at everybody. African people, Black people, Indians, Chinese, Asian. Look at the world, Lonnie. Would you have been proud to know that your ancestors were just as vile and disgusting as white people, right? Because white people are evil. They have done great evil, right? Sometimes you might look at slavery and you might feel like, okay, Black men could have done more. Sure. But are you also not happy that when you compare yourself to a white person, Lonnie, you can say that your granddad, your great granddad, your great great granddad, Lonnie, they never stole a child. They never raped a woman. Whatever comes with conquest, you don't have that in your bloodline. Like you can truly say that. You don't come from a despicable people. We can say, yeah, maybe you were cowardly, but you were not despicable, right? What white people have done, even to this day, they're still paying for that, and they will continue to pay for that. But they have a horrible, horrible legacy. They have a whole. I don't think you can even find like not that many white people who can say I didn't have a Klansman in my bloodline, right? I don't think you can find many white Americans who can say, I don't have a murderer of Black people in my bloodline. I don't have somebody who killed a Native American person in my bloodline. You understand? So it's like at the surface, if we want to go toe for toe with white people, like if we didn't consider God, I can see what you're saying. But the fact that we know that whatever you do on this earth, you're gonna have to answer for that. To some extent, also, we kind of have to be grateful that our people were not as despicable. We don't come from monsters, Lonnie. We can say they're probably cowards, but they're not monsters. White people have done some hateful, heinous, vile, disgusting shit. Like, this is crazy. This girl was trying to leave a crazy comment on lemonade. And I took a picture because I saw a picture of the KKK people. It was a granddad, his daughter, and the grandbaby. I was like, here's your family picture. You see, when it comes to black people, nobody can do that. No one can ever say, no, Lonnie, like to me, there's always a better way. Because before these white people were doing their diabolical shit, Lonnie, people were traveling. People were trading. I'm not gonna say there was no war, there was no war, like no slavery, but it was not diabolical. Like, yeah, it was a little bit of, the little fight, the little ha ha ha. But try to enslave all kinds of people, rape all kinds of people, steal from all kinds of people, destroy all kinds of people. Like look at Palestine. Look at what they're doing in Palestine. Like, whose mind can be so destructive like that? It's like white people, everything they think about are weapons of mass destruction. They never think about weapons of peace. They never think about, okay, how do we bring everybody together and have a society where everybody can live well? It's always only a minority gets all the money and everybody else has to suffer. Everybody else has to suffer. And it's like that to me is despicable. It's like there's not a single people on this planet that they have not tortured. There's not a single people on this planet that they have not oppressed. There's not a single people they have not put in a concentration camp. It's they have a diabolical legacy. They are truly diabolical. Like in the book of Enoch, it talks about when Archangel Michael kicked out the fallen angels, that when the fallen angels got on planet Earth, they had sex with certain human beings. And those children were called Nephilims. And that the fallen angels they started yeah, and that needs to stop too. But in order to stop that, would you say that the African man needs to go and kill the Arab woman and also enslave the Arab woman and torture the Arab children? I don't think you would agree with that. I don't think that you apply the savagery with savagery. You understand? Because I'm like, when you do shit like that, it will always it's a stain. Like it's always a stain. There is nothing white people can ever do to ever get away from the fact that they're racist. They have enslaved people. They have tortured people. They all they do is create weapons of destruction. They have destroyed humanity. They have led the race. They have led the race really in so many different genocides against so many people across the world. That is a disgusting legacy. That's a disgusting legacy. There's a better way, but it's definitely not the way of the white man. And what I mean when I speak to if I ever speak to a child, when I speak to black people, me, I will always say we got to use our brains to counteract this evil without also being consumed by evil. You don't want to be consumed by evil. You don't want to become like those people because being evil, being despicable, that's their birthright. Like it's so natural to them. Like it's very natural to them to be hateful. It's very natural for them to lie. It's very natural for them to rape, to enslave, to steal, to kill. It doesn't bother these people. Like it's so normal to like they don't even bat an eye. Like there's like 400,000 dead people in Palestine. Okay, right? 600,000 plus have died in Ukraine. Okay. I'm like, what the fuck? These are people. And I'm like, you never want to get to that point. Right? But the problem is where I will say, like where I agree with you is like the problem is me, I will never say meet evil with evil. That's despicable. But what I will say, use your brain. Use your brain and see these people come. You gotta see these fuckers come. You gotta see them come. And when they attack one, you gotta say to yourself, if you attack one, you attack everybody. If you attack one, you attack everyone. So to me, my advice to a lot of Black American men who are in entertainment and sports, people like those who have high visibility, especially if you like these white girls and these Asian people, right? Is that they need to have a syndicate. Like they need to meet. They have to meet because it's getting very serious. They need to meet. They need to meet. And they need to come up with a plan because if they attack one, we got to go help that person. Now, is it going to be a trust? Is it going to be what? I don't know. But you have to find a way when one person is attacked that you will put money behind that person's legal team to make sure he's not convicted. And the thing is, because that's nothing that bothered me with Diddy's case, is that I've come to realize that too with this case, is that when you are going to court like that, like Diddy or anybody else going to court, the goal of your defense, your attorneys, is not just to get you off. That's not that. Yeah, Nephilims. That's what they're called. They're called like they. So in the book of Enoch, you can look it up. In the book of Enoch, they said the fallen angels because the fallen angels, according to the book of Enoch, I'm not saying it, but it's the book of Enoch. According to the book of Enoch, the fallen angels they had knowledge of war. They had knowledge of weapons of destruction, like a lot of evil things. And so they gave those humans and the babies they had with those humans the knowledge of evil things, such as war, weapons of war. And I'm like, not to be offensive, but when you look at white people, when you look at Western, especially the West, especially America, right? Their number one industry is making weapons of war, nuclear bombs, drone, like anything that involves killing people in the masses is what they're really good at. They're not good at peace. They only know how to kill. Like they don't export peace. There's never anything peaceful. There's always war, war, war. Kill people, kill people, kill people, kill people. And in the book of Enoch, that's what the book of Enoch talks about. That these fallen angels, they had the knowledge of warfare, weapons of mass destruction. So when they encountered those humans that were willing to have sex with them, they gave that knowledge to those people and the children. You know what I'm saying? And they pass that to their children. But what I'm saying is like we are seeing a lot of cases now where it's like when they come for one, it's like a runaway slave. It's like they go grab the slave, they beat him in front of everybody. People get scared and oh, I'm gonna back away. I'm like, no, don't back away. You got to get closer to that person because he needs your help. Because if they get this man, they're coming for you next. And I'm like, and at this rate, if they want to even accuse Barack Obama and lock his ass up, they're gonna find a way too because they like I'm like they never come after one person. I'm like you think about like even the Jews like in 80 years how these people have been able to take over all of America. You know what I mean? But they didn't start with trying to take all over of America first. It's like, okay, maybe first you start with like you take over the Ivy Leagues. Take over the Ivy Leagues. Once you take over the Ivy Leagues, you take over Wall Street. When you take over Wall Street, you take over the Fed. Once you take over the Fed, you take over the music industry. Like they went like one industry at a time patiently. But before you know it, you have all the pieces to control America. And I'm like, that shit is fucking crazy. It is fucking crazy. These people own everything. They are everywhere. Oh my gosh. But what I'm saying is like they start with something very specific. And I feel like it was education, especially taking over the Ivy Leagues. Because most people, yeah. Oh, she's full of shit also. But even her, she takes money from the Jews. He takes their money. They control everything, man. They control everything. But I feel like it's because, but it was never a war. Like, you know, it's like they didn't kill, I mean, they didn't, oh, I'm gonna go kill you, shoot your ass, whatever. No, they used their brain. They looked at these white people, they recognized their weaknesses, greed, the love of money. They love to lie, they live above their means, they love to talk about they're Christians, but they're really fake, right? They studied all these things and said, okay, now that I know your weakness, I'm going to weaponize your weakness against you. So that way you turn into my servant. You understand? So, like, for me, it's like, I'm not going to tell black men, go be violent and go kill people like the white man. No. But for example, when you know that somebody's running for judge, put money, pick your judge, put money behind that person, make sure they get elected. When somebody's running for mayor, pick your candidate, put money behind that person, right? When somebody's running for governor, pick your person, put money behind that person. At the state level, somebody's running for the House, the state Congress, put money behind that person. You got to do what the Jews did. You start buying people a little bit at a time. You buy the mayors, then you buy the judges, then you buy the other judges, the other, even the mere fact. So it's like that, you know, a lot of these Supreme Court justices, they get so much money. Okay. Like a lot of these Supreme Court justices, they have sugar daddies, pretty much. Every single one of them has sugar daddies. They all have sugar daddies. Right? Like when you look at what's his name? Judge Clarence Thomas, right? He has a white sugar daddy, the white billionaire. Like he takes him on vacation. He paid off his mom's mortgage. He bought him a huge ass RV and things like that, right? But how come we don't have any Black American person with lots of money being a sugar daddy to a Supreme Court justice? What's the problem? Right? What's the problem? All y'all buying these Rollies and these Mercedes and these Bentleys and these whatever, whatever. Why don't you become a sugar daddy for one of them justices? What's the problem? What's the problem? You see what I'm saying? What's the problem? And it's like it's the lack of strategy that's going to be problematic because these people, the small hat people, they bought everyone. When you hear that they were willing to put $150 million behind Charlie Kirk, it's not just for Charlie Kirk to say, oh, let's support Israel, let's go to war with Iran. No, it was also going to involve talking shit about Black people because like as long as you like, because when you talk bad about Black people, it's a distraction. Right? So the people don't have time to ask other questions. But when you hear that Israel was offering Charlie Kirk, a man with only a high school diploma, $150 million. What do you think he's gonna do? He's not just gonna go around saying, "Oh yeah, let's support Israel. I love Israel. I practice the Shabbat." No, he's gonna go from campus to campus, talk about Black crime, Black welfare, Black, because hey, you gotta give people somebody to be mad at. You gotta give people someone to hate. You gotta give somebody a scapegoat. You gotta give somebody a group of people that you can blame for all the woes in America, and that's gonna be Black people. Conversely, you support Israel. Oh, it's good for us to help Israel. Womp you womp womp womp. Womp on up on up. But I'm like, Charlie Kirk is not the only person they're giving money to. So if they're offering Charlie Kirk 150, these other people who are pro-Israel, how much money are they offering these people? How much money are they offering these people? Right? Okay. But I don't even think he was bashing Blacks for freelining. I don't think so. Because if in his private time, he's over here listening to R. Kelly, he has all the lyrics memorized and shit like that. Did he even really hate Black people? Or that was part of the job? Because if you hate Black people that much, why would you listen to R. Kelly? Right? R. Kelly, Kanye, he knows all the songs. That makes no sense to me. When Kanye gave him those Yeezys, you saw the picture. He was so happy, like, "Oh my gosh, look, I'm in the club. They like me now, mommy." Right? The Blacks like me now. So no, I don't even believe that Charlie disliked Black people. It was a job he had to do. I'm telling you, this shit is fucking sick, man. But this is what you do. If you want to make it in America, you got to talk bad about Black people. Even if you don't believe it, you just have to do it because that's how you make money. But I'm like that white billionaire, because remember the white billionaire, the one who died that you told me about, right? Bill, something like that, that Bill man who died. How do we know that was not part of his requirement? I can't stand these Blacks. So I need you to talk about the people. And Charlie, he only has a high school degree. He has no money. You even heard the first time he got a suit because he had no suit. He used to wear clothes that were too big for him, right? Because Eric Trump bought him a suit. He gave him a gift card. So you know he had no money. Exactly. And Nick Fuentes, his granddad committed suicide. His other granddad committed suicide. Like they all killed themselves in that family. Like what the heck, right? But I'm like, when you hear that somebody couldn't even afford a suit, he had to wait for Eric Trump to give him money on a gift card to buy a suit, Lonnie. Then you know he was broke. He was dead ass broke. He was desperate. He's broke. He has no money. He's awkward, and he only has a high school diploma. So did he really hate Black people? Or is this the grift that pays in America? You know, hating on Black people over here, Lonnie, it's a grift. It's a very lucrative grift. Even Officer Tatum, if you ever watch Officer Tatum sometimes he contradicts himself. And that's when you can tell he doesn't even like white people. But he needed the money. Because he said like there were days he would go to work, he had no gas in the tank. He had to use his credit cards and his credit cards are maxed out. So like he was broke, like he was financially destitute. He was financially desperate. And when you owe that much money, Lonnie, like you're not a free person. Like poor people cannot afford to have integrity. Poor people cannot afford to have morals. You get me right? So and also they're godless, it's a godless people. So when somebody says, I'll give you 100,000, just talk about these Black people, shit, I'll do it. I get to the bag. But I do not believe that Charlie did not like Black people. I don't believe that. But I do believe he was dead ass broke with no education. Hey, my love. So because of that, he said, okay, I guess I'll do it. And also, let's not forget he's white. Black people are, it's not his community. So he's not directly impacted by the mean shit that he says. He's not impacted by that. But look at that. In less than 10 years, Lonnie, a man with a high school diploma, a man who can't even afford a suit, in 10 years, he's worth $12 million. So my question is, did he really hate black people or did he love money more? Because if I don't like black people, I'm not even fucking with their music. This guy's like bounce, 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 bounce. He knows all the lyrics to Ignition, including the remix. Exactly. It was for money. I don't think he hated black people. Y'all, it's so grip. I'm telling you, if you even want to have an experiment, create a YouTube channel and start making content about Black American this, Black American that. When I tell you in less than 3 months, you will have 50,000 subs. You're gonna be like, Marlene, I am telling you, it's a thing here. Like it is a thing. If I'm an immigrant and I can see it, how can you not see it? It's a thing. Like in America, black people are like black Americans are the people that it's okay to bully. Like it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Like when you come here, you realize, oh wow, like these people are they're forsaken. So if you want white people to like you, or if you want to feel good about yourself, be mean to those people. So I'm like, if I can see it, there's no way you don't see it. So that's why I'm saying, like, are we sure he hated black people? Or he needed money? And I said he needed money. High school diploma. And I'm like, if you ever look at Charlie Kirk, look, when he talks, he has a weird twitch. And I'm like, this dude has a learning impediment. He could be autistic, he could be dyslexic, he could have ADHD. But notice carefully, like when he talks, he's like, he does this stuff. Like he has this weird twitch he does all the time, right? So I can see why school was really hard for him. This dude went to community college. You're like, come on. One semester he dropped out. He couldn't do it. So how was he gonna make it in America? Like, what job was he gonna do? Where was he gonna go in life? But just, oh yes, these blacks, the blacks, the blacks, the black. Look how far he made it. Even Erica, they told y'all, even Candace told y'all, Erica was not attractive. Erica did not want to marry him, so they had to bully her. Why do you think she's so happy now? She looks, I mean, to me, she looks really happy that he's dead. I'm just saying. Okay. She looks happy. She looks relieved. Can you imagine? Does this woman look like somebody whose husband got shot in the neck and she has two little babies to raise? No, she wants to be a CEO. She wants to take over. She wants to take over his place. Right? So my question is, can we really say that Charlie Kirk hated black people? Or because America is capitalist, anything for money, he realized that, hey, it's a lucrative grift. After all, everybody hates them anyways, right? That's how you make it. That's how you build a name for yourself. Even recently, like you saw, like Nick Fuentes called out Matt Walsh. He's like, yeah, all you do is talk about Black Americans. But let's be so for real. Black Americans are not the number one problem in America. It's the Jews. But you don't have the courage to say that, right? Because in America, it's acceptable. In white America, it is acceptable to be mean to African Americans. It truly is. And that's why for me, it really hurts me when I see Black Americans like be mean to each other. Because I'm like, do you not see the setup? Do you not see you don't see this shit? Like it's you all know I'm a black, but they don't care. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. They do not give a damn. They don't give a damn. They will talk shit about everybody. They will lock up everybody if they could. They they have a gulag for the Black American man. They got a gulag for the Black American woman. They don't like Black American people. Like it is not a fucking joke. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. It really is not a joke. Right? And so it's like, and so for me, that's why I feel like no matter what happens, even if we're mad at Diddy, we have to stand firm on you don't have the right to violate a black person constitutional rights. That's it. Do the right thing. Do not violate their constitutional rights. That's it. White woman lives in that. We can talk about that later. Okay. But it's like right now, oh, really? What they say? Wow. Right. But it's like right now, you should focus on your constitutional rights. 50 months. So what is that? What's 50 months? 50 is what? 12, 24, 36. So over 4 years. Okay. I mean, he went in there apologizing over 4 years. Okay. He went in there apologizing. But you see, that is my point. Yeah, that is my point. That's my point. But I mean, he can appeal, he got the money. But he went in there apologizing like he's not a US citizen. That's my point. You see? So like now they're gonna go find their next victim. They'll go find their next victim. Watch, they go find their next victim. This is what they do, and that's why I'm like, we got to like this has to stop. Because listen, if you don't fight, and that's the thing people don't understand. Like me, I will never. Yeah, me, I will say this to you, right? Listen to me. This shit is real. Me, I'm gonna tell y'all this, right? I mean, y'all my cousins. I do love y'all, but Marlene, y'all know I'm from the Ivory Coast, you guys. Any moment I can pack my bags and get the fuck out of here because these white people here, they're really evil. They're truly fucking evil. They're draining my mental health. They're fucking evil, right? But I wish that sometimes when it came to all African Americans, like, when you're a family, shit's gonna happen. Shit's gonna happen. Everybody fucked up. The Black American man has fucked up. The Black American woman has fucked up. There's gonna have to be a point where Black American people will have to say, we're either going to forgive each other or we're gonna fucking die. Because when I tell you, these people here, they don't have good plans for y'all. They do not have good plans for y'all. You're going to have to get to a point where you stop this immaturity of always pointing fingers. Oh, you did this, you did this. I can't marry you. You're going to have to stop this bullshit, family. And I mean this with my fucking heart because these people hate your guts. These people hate your guts. When I sit here, I sit on YouTube and I see channels come out of nowhere. They come out of nowhere, right? All they do is talk about Black Americans. And even there's another one, like Brandon. Brandon started his channel like years ago. He didn't take it seriously. He came outside because he saw even what's his name? Devory Darkins. You guys, that boy, that black dude, I think he's a plant. The way that boy got over 1 million subscribers, like during the whole election thing, at first it was cute. I'm like, okay, I'm into his content. Then I'm like, hold on. Exactly. He was like, "Oh, my wife just had a baby, wumpty wump wump." And I'm like, then how you cranking out all this content like this? Devori, he was getting millions of views. I'm like, I don't even know how much he made during the whole election cycle thing. And I'm like, this man is not working alone. This man is not working alone. I got scared. I got really scared because I said this shit right here. When you guys listen to me, listen to me. And that's why I told y'all we're gonna have to make a choice to be some real ass Christians over here. And when you are a Christian, you're gonna have to separate yourself from this American culture, which is a very hateful culture. It never forgives. It always talks about the past. It holds grudges. It keeps score. You're gonna have to surrender that because we are really at war over here. It's not a fucking joke. But I'm like, when you hear that Israel was willing to give Charlie Kirk one person 150 million, you start asking yourself, who else are they paying? And one thing I have noticed is that you see these influencers, like these so-called content creators, will look normal, they have a regular background, and they have these talking points. And you're thinking, oh, that's just an individual, that's just this, that's just that. A lot of them, they're part of a system. They're meant to look normal. And also Devori did the military. Something I'm like, this is bizarre. You guys, this is bizarre to me. It's bizarre. So then Brandon, yeah, Brandon came out of nowhere because he had a channel, but he gave up his channel. He came out of nowhere. He started copying Devori's thumbnail. So then the thumbnail style. So then his video started to pick up because he's biracial. He's also started Black people this, Black people that, Black American this, Black American that, Black. You guys, in less than like 6, 7 months, he's already at 500,000 subs. I kid you not. I kid you not. I'm sitting here, I am watching channels come out of nowhere, come out of nowhere. But if they talk about Black Americans this, Black American that, when I tell you the comments, it's like it's like there's a plan. It's like there's like a psyop movement to really cement into people's head that Black American people are no good, they're lazy, they're on welfare, they need to be held accountable, they're DEI people, they're this kind of people. And I'm like, and these people look like normal people making content. But I'm like, no, they are plants. Like even when it seems like it's a regular room, the man is just in his room making content. I'm like, even that too, it's a set. They know how to make it look like it's a regular person that's just, I'm just frustrated. Like I'm just sick and tired of Black culture. I just want my people to do better. I am falling for that shit. If y'all remember like years ago, like maybe like 6 years ago, right? There was a Black girl over here on YouTube. She was a van girl, remember? Like she was living in her van, really cute little girl. But out of nowhere, she was getting all these views, all these subs, and people started to realize that she was a plant, that she actually worked for Google. And Google was trying to test some kind of content, and they were using her to see how people would respond to that kind of content. You understand? Because they know that people are no longer watching the news. Yes, you see, Praise remembers her. People were like, this is weird. This is weird. At first, it was cute. Haha. It was funny. Hee hee. But after a while, I was like, hold on, hold on. You're black. You live in the wilderness. You can edit all these videos, the thumbnails, the like, it was just weird. And her views were insane. And so people were like, hold up, hold up. But Devori, at first it was cute. But then at some point, his videos were picking up so much steam. Y'all, I started to get scared. I haven't watched this content like that because I'm like, you, Devori, I don't buy this. Because if your wife just had a baby, you have a brand new baby. How can you help her? Because and like in one day, he would do like 4 or 5 videos in one day. I'm like, how is he doing this? And you mean to tell me he just started YouTube? Because when you first start a YouTube channel, if you've never done this before and you never had to edit content, there's a learning curve to knowing how to edit content, doing your voiceover. Like it takes a while. So I'm like, how can a brand new YouTuber, how can someone who's only been doing YouTube for 2 months is capable of doing 4, 5, 6 videos a day with a thumbnail, a thumbnail that matches also? Like, hold up, wait a minute. Mm-mm. And I used to be in the military. No, thank you. Gotta go. Nope. It's a bigger, y'all listen to me. And I'm telling y'all, and y'all know I love y'all. And that's why I always encourage you guys, be the bigger person. See the bigger picture. Be a critical thinker. Do not be who they want you to be. They want us to be tit for tat. Oh, you did this to me, I do that to you. Oh, the black man did this. You guys, we are at war. We need to open our fucking eyes. When you hear this Israel shit, you also need to be fucking scared. If you see how much, like 80 years, nobody has sympathy for people in Gaza. Why? Because they paid the media to dehumanize these people. When it's Gaza, you can see it, but it's happening to us here as well. How are we different than these Palestinians? How often do you go on your TV, on YouTube, Instagram, whatever, and you see any kind of positive coverage of Black people? How how is the Black image not being handled the same way they handle these Palestinians? And that's what, and that's an act of war. When people want to fucking do crazy shit to you, they start dehumanizing you. And then they go and find people that looks just like you. Like, oh, I'm just trying to be helpful. I want my people to do better. Well, oh, it's not us. It's their own people asking for that. You guys, my phone's gonna die. Let me go to the house. I'm gonna come back on the lives because my thing's about to die. You're not gonna be able to hear me, right? The phone's about to die. But I didn't bring my charger because that doesn't go live. But I'm like, we're gonna have to really open our eyes, like we really are. And people are gonna have to go back to their Christian values. People are really gonna have to go back to, like, you know what, I need to forgive. Like whatever I have against a black man, I gotta let that shit go. Whatever I have against a black woman, I gotta let that shit go. Because we are truly at war with these people. I mean, not even at war, they're at war with us, right? But even the whole Charlie Kirk thing. Oh, we're gonna lower the flag. Oh, started comparing Charlie Kirk to MLK. They were doing shit to trigger people. I'm like, wow, because they want you to say something so you can lose your job. They want you to say something so they can call you racist. Even like this whole thing, there's a movement, there is a movement to label black people racist. Right? Because they want you to be their image bearer. White people want you to believe that you have the same power they have, that you can systemically oppress a white person. Please go sit down somewhere. Please go sit down somewhere. Right? And I'm like, oh Lord, everything is dying. Right? No, I'm being serious, you guys. Because sometimes, I want to, it's very normal to be upset, right? It's normal to be upset. It's normal to react. It's very, very normal. But my plea to everybody, to all of us, we need to seriously disarm. The hearts have to be disarmed. And we really have to start preaching a gospel of love and forgiveness. Like we have to fight for Black people, especially Black Americans. We got to fight for Black American people to forgive each other, to love each other, to get married to each other, to speak life over each other, to raise their kids together. Like this is really something we have to take to heart because they have a plan. I'm like, we are no different than these Palestinians. We are no different. What they're doing in Gaza, they're doing it here, but in a different way. They are doing this here, but in a different way. You need to open your eyes. It has become so normalized to just comfortably demonize Black people and to make money. But you say one thing about a Jew, you can lose your channel, you can lose your monetization. Sometimes you're not even saying anything bad. You're just stating the obvious, but even stating the obvious is anti-Semitic. Like, what? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? So they become ultra protected, while the Black people become ultra exposed, ultra degraded, ultra insulted. Like, I mean, like, it is insane. It is insane. It is insane. It is insane. We need to open our like me. I'm like part of me is scared and part of me is sad. Do you guys? I swear, like I've been thinking so hard. I'm like, no, I have to fight really hard to be a Christian because these white people they want you to be hateful and they want you to hate your own people. They want you to hate people that look just like you. So that way, when they decide to kill your people, you're not going to react like, okay, yeah, sure, they deserve that stuff. Oh yeah, they deserve that. No, 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 hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Wait a minute, wait a minute. And I'm like, no, I can be upset. And trust me, I am very upset at Diddy. Diddy has done things I don't agree with at all. But the part, because it is dangerous for all of us, the part where you want Diddy to trade places with Jeffrey Epstein. I can't let that slide, you guys, because that is so dangerous. That is dangerous for all of us. That Jeffrey Epstein dude, the stuff he was into, you guys, it is utterly frightening. Diddy is just kinky and a fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot. He was reckless. He was a fucking idiot. But this level of demonic activity, Jeffrey Epstein, oh, he is something else. Have you heard that Prince Andrews has left Buckingham Palace? He is so scared. He's been locked up in there. He's not coming outside, right? You know what I'm saying? But like, because I listen to Nick, because Nick can get on my nerve, but he knows all the tea. Like Nick, these Jewish people, he knows all their business. He knows who's having sex with who, hey, how you say, who made money from who, one thing, one point. Like he knows all their business. And I'm like, wow. And it really opens your eyes to how much money they're not just putting into supporting Israel by any means necessary, but how much money, the hundreds, you guys, it's not a million, y'all. It's not 2 million. It's not three. It's not, you guys, I am talking about hundreds of millions of dollars that are being poured into content creation to depict African Americans in a disgusting way. Listen to me, because if you think that 150, the 150 million they were trying to give to Charlie Kirk was just for Charlie to just support Israel, yeah, right. When before he died, who was he talking about? Black on black crime. The man asked him about mass shootings. He's talking about Black American people. For what reason? For what reason? So you realize the goal is not just to do propaganda for Israel, but it's to give white American people something to hate, something to blame. And that's the same thing that Hitler did. Because, Germany was not doing well at the time, right? So what did he do? Because people were upset. They had hyperinflation, they didn't have enough money. Life was really hard in Germany. So Hitler offered the Jews to the German people as the perfect scapegoat. Look what happened next. Look what happened next. You got the whole Holocaust, right? So we have to consider the fact that right now the economy is not doing well, the debt has ballooned, right? Interest rates crazy, right? There's a lot of wars. The American economy is not doing well. Prices are crazy. So what do they want? They want to give these white people someone to hate. And part of those people to hate are Black Americans. Then it's illegal immigrants. Then it's Muslims, right? We have to like history. It repeats itself. We got to start paying attention. Like, hold up, wait a minute, wait a minute. And that's why today it feels like YouTube is the perfect, I don't know, it's the perfect ground. Like it's fertile ground for anybody to make any kind of content about Black people, especially Black Americans, and just get away with it. And they make so much money and they get so many views. And the comments, the flurry of comments, like what the fuck? Where are all these people coming from? You know what I mean? Yeah, Diddy did it to himself because like he's all over the fucking place. So I'm like, child, whatever. But he might come out a little sooner though. But he should not have gone in there begging. But I'm just saying, you guys, we just have. I'm gonna go to the house and try. I'm gonna get on the computer, right? But I'm saying we have to get to a place where we get smarter. We don't get dumber. We get smarter. We don't start letting ourselves be emotional. We calm down and we take a pause. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is this about? What's the bigger picture here? What's the bigger plan here? And I'm telling you, now that they're done with Diddy, they're gonna go find somebody else. They'll go find somebody else. They're not done, you guys. They're gonna go find these men, these guys, these black men with all that money. They really need to have a private meeting. They all need to have a private meeting, and they all need to agree. We're gonna put our money together because this shit is fucking real. There, you are under attack, and a lot of them have, and you have a lot of money. Because I'm like, Lonnie, what I see, I know you're upset, but you, one thing I love about you, Lonnie, when you're upset at first, but you take a step back and you do listen to me, so you're a good baby sis. But Lonnie, when I'm telling you what I see, if I tell you I'm not scared, I don't know what to tell you. They have a very, very evil plan. They have a fucking evil plan. Even like even these podcasts, I'm looking at you guys. I swear, I now feel like social media is also a psyop operation. I really do, to cause confusion, to destroy relationships, to normalize being by yourself. To because you remember how Dr. Tracy, I mean, it's not even her, but the video we saw with Dr. Tracy, and she said that when you live by yourself for a long time, you're more prone to have dementia. You're more prone to have mental decay because you're by yourself. We were not created to live by ourselves, but even that too is part of the fucking experiment, is part of the fucking psychological warfare. They want to normalize people not being married. They want to normalize people raising kids by themselves. They want, because technically what they want to do is normalize poverty. And then you'll need debt, you'll need drugs, you'll need sex, and all that shit. You either gonna end up dead in prison, but either way, they're gonna make money off of you because you're gonna be a slave. You're going to be a slave. And this is why I say black people are really going to have to work on forgiveness. Black people are truly going to have to work on forgiveness. Otherwise, we're going straight to the gulags. We are going straight to the gulags because they have prisons ready for black babies that are not even born yet. Okay. They have prisons ready for black babies that are not even born yet. Do you not find it weird that every time you go on social media, no matter where you go on social media, they always add fuel to the fire to further divide the black American woman from the black American man, right? You don't think that's random? You don't think that's bizarre? You don't find that suspicious? Because we're under attack. We are under attack, my people. Well, exactly. You're gonna get to a point even like you can even afford a one bed. You're gonna sleep, right? And even in your car, they're gonna find ways to tax you to pay taxes for sleeping in your car. They're gonna criminalize, right? They're going to criminalize everything you do. Life is going to be so expensive for single people. They want to see as many black women as black American women as possible be homeless. Oh, they have a plan for homelessness. They have a plan for homelessness. Like when I tell you what I see with these Jewish people is that when it comes to America, it's gonna turn like an auction sale. They're gonna sell America into pieces. They will be nowhere safe. Like you won't even have money to make it. Life is going to be so expensive. Renting is even going to be hard because you might even get to a point where they ask you for 6 months deposit for you to rent a place. Y'all, you have to see these people coming. You have to see what these people have in store. And I think when more and more black people start to realize what these people have in store for black people, that alone is going to make, right? That alone is going to make. I hope for some black people. Hold up. I need to cleave to my people. I need to forgive. I need to let certain things go and see how we can make it work. And that's why I'm against divorce. I am against divorce because even that too, the way that everything is divorce, divorce, divorce. I wouldn't even be surprised if they pay people to have these talking points because you'll be like, okay, before we even get to divorce or recommend divorce to people, we should also recommend like certain protocol. Okay, try step one. If that fails, then try step two. Then if that fails, let's try number three. If that fails, we gotta have at least like 10 different steps before we get to divorce. No, he acts wrong, divorce him. She acts wrong, divorce her. Hold up, wait a minute. What is going on? What is going on? Poverty. Poverty. They want poverty. They want your kids to have depression. They want your kids to be bipolar. They want your kids to have PTSD. They want your children to fail in school. They want your children to have academic depression. They want your kids to have low self esteem. I'm telling y'all, these people are building prisons for Black children that are not even born. Everybody needs to wake the fuck up. This Charlie Kirk thing, me, Marlene, it woke me up because the way they were like this whole trying to compare Charlie Kirk to MLK, it was provocation. They were provoking people to act a fool. They were being antagonistic. Yeah, he got 4 years. Uh-huh. Hey, it's not that bad. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We need to wake up. And every Black woman that is married, I don't need, I guess I don't care what your husband does. I mean, it's assuming it's not abuse, right? But you have to pray for your household, pray for your marriage, pray for your kids. Because I'm like, these people here, they have a bad, bad plan. Let me get to the house. Give me 30 minutes. I get to the house. I'll be right back before this thing dies. I'll be right back. Okay. I love y'all. Let me come outside. Hold on. My phone's gonna die. And